On fire.
Please welcome Tom Summery. I'm here, and your white privileges have been seeing you tonight, okay, guys?
Desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
Any government is to monopolize as much violence as possible in order for it to inflict it on as many citizens as possible.
I've been on this weird anarchist arc for a few months now. This is playing by their rules, exactly how they are.
Me. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame.
You're watching the Dog and Chicken Show. Like, share, subscribe.
That's right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 140 of the Dog and Chicken Show. You know what it's titled. Oh, but wait, there's more. We got Monkeypox, baby, and tons of other stuff to get into tonight. I am drinking some Russell's Reserve here. It's got a beautiful stuff. I have some beer to get me through the night as well because there's not much of that bottle left. Tony, what you drinking, sir?
Hello, everybody. It's Tony fucking G.
Jesus.
Tony the Rod.
How we doing there, man?
It's better now.
Fuck you, Phil. God damn it. This fucking guy. I'm going to interrupt your fucking intro next time.
He's been
this
an ass
guy.
all through the
God
pre-show, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah, here. I'll turn it down a smidge. Yeah, this fucking guy. We're trying to get shit ready, and this guy's like, hey, what about this? What about... God damn it, Phil. Hang on. It's my intro. Tony the Rod 2.0 on the fucking TikTok. Anyway, Jesus. Sorry, everybody who's used to watching on Big Buck and Empire on YouTube, but they came after us again. I'm sure we'll touch on that in a minute. But tonight, I am sipping on some Old Forester Statesman because, quite frankly, the bottle is pretty low, and it's probably about time, unfortunately, to yeet this bottle and probably seek something else out of the Old Forester line. And when we can get to it, I do have another beer review because I do have a few leftover beers that are strange, interesting, and fun from last week that
Sweet.
figure might as well get some good use out of.
Nice. Well, folks, it's here. The pox of monkeys is upon us. Episode 140. How are we doing, all you beautiful people out there? You know, the problem is you could do that, but then Tony and Chicken's microphones in different towns and states would still pick me up. That is the problem.
That's
but folks,
probably true.
I am the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, and your cure for your monkeypox blues, Phil KOE, right here, folks. And I'm flexing a little bit, some Rip Van Winkle 10-year, because why not? Because I can, because, Hulk Hogan pose, because I'm awesome, because America, God bless this beautiful nation. So, folks, you can find me right here, Big Buck and Empire, which you should go to YouTube and definitely check them out and give them a subscribe. Big Buck and Empire on YouTube, Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube, but of course, Big Buck and Empire on Facebook, the place to be. That is right after you go to KOE Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. KOE Nation. That's K as in King, O as in oh my God. You can find KOE Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. E as in extremely happy to know you can find KOE Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, folks. We're going to get into some crazy shit here, and we are joined this evening by a very, very interesting guest, a man of international fame, if you will, a man that's intercontinental, a man who's known both
intro yourself. He's
and
just gonna
domestic.
go for you.
The one, the only. How are we doing?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Brendan. Dad's Worldwide.
Follow that, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Brendan from Dad's Intergalactic, Intercontinental, International, whatever. I'm there. I'm gonna have to buy all those domains. Hey, you can find me at brendan@dadsww.com. And if you can't stand these guys, I kind of want to hear about it. Hate mail at dadsww.com. So can't wait to start this.
Awesome. What you drinking tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm drinking Nectar of the Gods. The Pulp Daddy, a juicy, hazy New England IPA. This is one of the, if not the only, Imperial IPA breweries. All they do, everything is Imperial IPAs. They're over 8%. And they're fantastic. And they're out of the communist state of Massachusetts.
Oh,
yes. I unfortunately there's some fantastic beer that comes out of that state. Otherwise, there's really not much else to talk about.
So you're saying commies know how to make beer?
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
They are fantastic.
the problem is you're not drinking beer; you're drinking beer. It's a different thing.
Listen, I go to the brewery, I park the car, and then I get a beer.
Park the car in the yard.
Have a couple of beers, and we're gonna go get some lobster.
And listen,
You get that beer at Cumbies?
Yeah, Cumbies. And I am a masshole at heart. I grew up there, so I can say that they're commies. I know firsthand.
Well,
confirmed.
Now, also, strangely enough, this is going to be some foreshadowing for later on, folks. But Brendan, your attire is kind of a foreshadowing to something we're going to be talking about in the main event later this evening. There, that's
whatever could you be talking about?
I don't know. But we will get into that in its due time. But as this episode's namesake, the pox of monkeys. Didn't think I'll be honest. I predicted that the next one would be kangaroo flu. I thought that was going to be the one, but no, I was off by one. So your pandemic bingo cards, we hit monkeypox now. That is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I did see the
Instead of a
meme where it was
it's a mammal.
Yeah, I saw the conspiracy guy meme where he's like pointing at the wall and says, "Who had monkeypox for whatever month it is?"
Yeah,
now. Everything's a fucking blur, but.
I don't know shit about this. I have not followed. I feel like it's 2020 all over again. Or no, when did we first start talking about coronavirus? Because
late 2019.
Was it early 20?
It was late 2019, early 2020. Yeah.
I was trying to remember when we actually.
2020 is when it really heated up.
Yeah, March is when it went.
I mean, we still went to Royal Rumble in January of 2020.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, hey, remember places and things?
Yeah. But we did our first episode. We kind of ignored it. We brought it up once and we're like, yeah, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah, we made
and then a few weeks go by and we had to do an
it.
entire episode about it.
We did an episode about it and we just kind of blew it off like it was no big deal.
All
of our predictions on that show were so bad.
It won't be the end of the world. Not like this is gonna be the end of the world or nothing right, folks?
And then, not gonna lock you down or anything.
And it's gonna really be weird when we have to go back and tell the full tale of this to our children and grandchildren. How did this all start? Take a deep drag your cigarette. Okay, it all started when they shot this fucking gorilla in a zoo, and it just spiraled out of control. Oh, and by the way, gentlemen, I need to mention before we move on, my mother actually gave me cash for each of us to take a shot. So, chicken, whatever it is you got on hand, you're gonna need to take a shot of it. Tony, oh shit! Brendan's got the Nebraska Loop River bourbon.
He's getting that shit.
I expect my $5 bill when I see you next, Phil.
Yes, sir. But yes, this is from my mother. She wanted to see to it that we all took a shot, and she's
Tony,
like, "I don't
Phil
know
how to use stars."
Shit, right?
Well, she was doubly, I will never learn to use stars ever under any circumstance. So she was like, so here's a $20 bill. And now before we do this, Brendan, I gotta ask, I never cheat my public out of anything. So as long as my beautiful face is here, the public is satisfied. So now, Brennan,
Okay,
look.
I didn't see the second comment without reading it. Okay, I just seen public fuck. I didn't see the comment before.
I-
And
my
I
mouse
really
over
don't
it.
never
want to
cheat my pubic. Are you kidding
Is
me?
there-
Like it's
Is there a setting that we fucked with? Because
when
what is up with the comments? Because now it used to be we would get raised
love
up
it.
and the comment would be on the bottom, but now
I
Yeah.
can fix that.
Maybe
Hold
take
on.
the ticker off. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Now,
there's a setting for it. I'll fix it.
yeah, I don't know what
Now,
the fuck
gentlemen,
the deal is.
gentlemen, raise your
Well,
shot
hang on, I
glasses.
don't have a
I
shot
don't have
glass.
I don't have
Bill,
a shot glass
so
either.
I have to use my pint glass.
I'll be swigging off the bottle.
Nice. That's
Oh
just
shit,
good enough.
that's what.
Nope, that's you poured. It's all right, let's go.
Oh shit.
All
Hold on a
right.
sec. I'm fixing the damn comment thing. Hold on. Let me see.
Oh no.
There we go.
That's
Fixed it.
perfect.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right, to fighting, stealing, and drinking. If you're gonna fight, may it be for a friend. If you're gonna steal, may it be a lover's heart. And if you're gonna drink, well, I hope it's with me.
Oh god.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Ah. Ah.
Oh,
Mm.
Thanks, Mom.
No.
great. Hey,
Thanks,
Ah.
Bill's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, half of you enjoyed that. The other half did not.
yeah, thank,
Yeah,
thank
the
you,
left side
thank
of the
you, Phil,
screen did.
for this fantastic bourbon.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I was gonna say, what do you make of that particular drink now that you've had the chance to enjoy?
Oh, I love it. It's smooth as heck. And for like a local distiller, yeah, it's awesome. It is really
That is
good.
the Ogallala Aquifer, the
Yeah.
purest water in all the land, baby.
Well, I was gonna say that water is the backbone of any whiskey, and like a lot of our whiskeys from Nebraska, they're all in La Vista, which is from Omaha, so their water's coming from the Missouri River, which most whiskeys come from rivers, but Loop River, St. Paul, their water is actually uniquely also coming from the Ogallala Aquifer, and so that's in my opinion, that's what gives it kind of this crisper, cleaner feel when you're drinking it. So
Got an edge over the competition.
now,
Right.
Brennan, be sure to let us know if you ever run into that bottle anywhere in the Northeast. I will probably need to sit down due to massive shock if I ever hear that bottle is anywhere.
I'm buying one. If I come in contact with it, I will buy it just for the absolute principle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Tony.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Did I? Oh shoot,
no.
Phil.
Speaking
did
of
I
which,
just-
it's a good time to bring up the
Oh.
starboard, Tony, while we hear what you want to do.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I kind of jumped the gun there a little bit. My
Yeah,
bad.
that
I'll
is a
pull the
confirmed
starboard.
500 stars coming in from one Tony G.
So you want me
Yeah.
to sing? Because, I mean,
Oh no, I'm wanting you to take a shot at Jen, Phil.
well, we all just took one, so my mom paid the first
Well,
500.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
that
that's
wasn't
only on
Facebook
stars.
stars though, Phil. That was cold hard cash.
Rules is rules, sir.
That
Yeah.
is the rule.
Abide by them, Phil. You said you don't.
You know,
You said you don't cheat your pubic.
very true. Okay. In the interest of not cheating my pubic, you got me there. I can't fucking argue with a rock solid argument like that, like cheating the pubic.
So as Phil prepares his second gin shot of the
You
evening,
suck.
500 stars to make somebody rant about something, 500 stars to make somebody sing, 100 stars per minute to mute somebody per minute, 500 stars for a beer chug, price increases by 500 every time, 500 stars to take a shot, price increases by 500 every time, and 300 stars to request a custom made. There we have
right.
it. So if you ever need to see that, you just ask and I'll pop that bad bitch.
Nice. Now, what's funny is the last time I was doing it, I accidentally I had the shot over my Van Winkle, and I almost spilled a drop of gin
Oh,
into my Van.
blasphemy.
Like that would have just been that'd have been painful. But alrighty, folks. Well, I already did the fancy one, so this one is Tony. I was just starting to like you.
No, you weren't.
You don't have to start lying now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only 2 shots in. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
bold-faced lie.
It's not like you're gonna bet him.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Woo! God damn it.
The night
He
is
just got a
early.
half chub.
The night is young. How was it, Phil?
The night is young.
Oh, delicious.
Thank
Just
God.
it tastes like torture.
Love it. All right, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the first story of the night. As we've alluded to, monkeypox is now in 7 states. U.S. health officials urge awareness, not fear. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid at all. Monkeypox, not a gay disease. What?
What?
Why?
You didn't
Why
scream
is
that at all,
there?
did you?
No, I haven't read this story at all.
Not a gay
Why?
disease.
Why? Who thought it was gay?
We haven't had an officially classified gay disease since the
Is this
1980s.
Is this
Like,
like a
what
hangover
is-
from the stigma
I
of AIDS?
I feel like Joe Biden. I just read whatever's in front of me. It's like I just did a Ron Burgundy.
Tony, I'm gonna bet like dollars to donuts
Ron
that's
Burgundy.
probably that has something to do with it.
Yeah, it's gotta.
All right.
That's the only explanation for that headline.
I don't. Yeah, I'm at a loss of words there. 9 cases of monkeypox in 7 states have been reported or confirmed in the U.S. as of Thursday, and the public health system is ramping up to test, treat, and possibly vaccinate those of high risk. The V word. Monkeypox outbreak of this scale and scope across the world has not been seen before. Dr. Raj Panjabi, depends on where you're from. You can pronounce it however you like, who leads the White House Pandemic Preparedness Office, said in a news briefing on Thursday, the White House, together with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, we trust them with all of our heart. Isn't that right, Susan Wiki? They tell no lies, is working to ensure that tests, vaccines, and treatments are easily available to all who need them. Yeah. Anybody know what monkeypox actually is?
I was assuming it was a form of chicken pox, but much more primitive.
I just know it's not gay. Okay.
Well, now we know.
It's an STD.
Oh shit! Like, wait, which kind? Like the
It's
lady
not a
kind?
gay
The guy?
STD.
It's not a gay one.
Okay, so it's a straight only
Allegedly.
STD. So it's very
Allegedly.
it's very selective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm scrubbing
we
this
nailed that.
article. Okay, I finally found the spot. The majority of cases have been among gay and bisexual men, but the risk of exposure is not limited to any one particular group. Walensky said that's like the only part after scrubbing through here that they talk about any homosexuality.
Okay. Well, like,
oh, here we go.
it's just it appears that this is something that can spread amongst people that have very, very close skin to skin, very intimate contact.
Yes.
So physical contact.
But not with
Yeah.
monkeys?
Well, hey,
or other dudes.
No, not.
Oh
I mean,
no!
No, didn't you read the first line?
This is USA
Oh,
Today.
no.
I didn't realize that USA Today was.
Brendan
like,
just brought it
anti-gay.
full circle. You don't understand the meta humor there, folks. Like, he just, like, oh no, because it used to be
Man,
the
fuck you, Steven. You're just jealous.
Well, no, it used to be a conspiracy theory back in the 80s that like this is a legitimate conspiracy. Like this was something that like even comedians would joke around about. I think that theory's been disproven, but I think it's been disproven, but comedians even joked around about like, yeah, we got AIDS from some guy fucking a monkey somewhere, and that now we got AIDS. Like that was the joke that went around for
Yeah, and it
years.
kind of stuck.
Yeah, and so now like I wonder if like that's sort of like Brendan did kind of just bring it all. Like wow.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm having flashbacks to like Gallagher bits from like 82.
Oh, I think they're still joking about that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So this one is we actually had a monkeypox outbreak in 2004 in the United States. There was 71 infections, 0 deaths. Now, keep in mind, this is a different strain that does seem to have a bit higher mortality rate because the one in 2004 was a 9% mortality rate, which is still pretty fucking bad. Don't get me wrong.
Has this been laying dormant for fucking almost 20 years?
No. It's just
years?
It's kind of like any other sickness. It comes from somewhere and then it just kind of spreads. And because we live in an international, easily travelable world, there's really no such thing as containing any contagion anymore.
Yeah, I believe this one it talks about the 2017 outbreak or whatever, but yeah, this is supposedly the Nigerian strain, which is less than a 1% mortality rate. Hey, we've been here before, haven't we?
Ooh,
allegedly. But yeah, there's been a shit ton of vaccines that have been purchased by the U.S. government.
Yeah, didn't they get like 1 million doses or something like that?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so they already have a vaccination for this.
Oh yeah, and it's an old school vaccine.
Yeah, it's probably not any good for the actual strain that's out now, but yeah, it's probably
I mean, we've had some.
But they'll have something to build off.
Yeah.
We've had
and it
some.
won't be gay.
Of course not. But we've had some shape, form, or figure of monkeypox in the general human populace for a few decades now. It's kind of come and gone like any other contagion. So this one is not going to be nearly as experimental. So this one's actually had some years to, actually build up some things. But, consult your doctors as to what the proper thing is to do, because the good and honorable people at the CDC would never trust. You should trust them because, as we all know, they are good and honorable men and women.
I for one am excited about the new apron mandate that will be coming out soon.
Like I'm waiting for like the full body condom thing. Like in order to fuck, you got to wear like this full body condom thing, and like
that's
2 nostril holes.
You should be doing that
then,
anyway.
And then you wear a mask over that. Like so.
I mean,
I feel like you have a camera in my bedroom right now.
Chicken was like, shh, don't give them ideas. And Brendan's like, don't tempt me with a good time.
I imagine Brendan standing in his room wearing a full body condom, looking like the Hamburger Helper glove.
I'm ready. Now, what about Hamburger Helper with cheese, baby? Like, oh no,
baby.
Is it Cheeseburger Helper just Hamburger Helper? But with cheese. That's all he has. Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Just say yes. He probably won't even come back with the food.
Somebody love me.
So
this is the high-minded content you get here.
Now, guys, let's just get ahead of this.
Is done.
Let's make some comments that aren't going to age well. Yep. I was just gonna say, like, while we're here, now let's get back from Hamburger Helper, because god damn it, are we fucking children of the 80s and 90s? Because like, gee,
sure,
because there's gonna
Helper would love to be a sponsor for the Monkeypox.
Quite
segment.
the advertisement. Yes.
I was about to say that, like, Hamburger Helper's like, you're squeezing us in the monkey, but could you squeeze us in the Roe v. Wade and mass shooting topic while you're at it? Like, that'd be really nice of you.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Big Red's got that one.
Oh yeah, Big Red gun.
Yeah. You don't keep
Speaking of
fuck you.
Speaking of full body condoms and Roe v. Wade, I guess that's a segue. Phil, what you got some updates for us tonight?
Oh yeah,
we're
gonna make a drink. You guys,
here, give Phil a second to get that ready. I'll do this beer review quick. Lift our spirits a bit. All right, so
give yourself full screen tea.
Hey everybody, it's Tony fucking G here, and
hey,
as you all know, I once in a while I enjoy having me a nice ice cold brew. You do too. That's why you're here, folks. And tonight I am going to be dipping into one I've never had before. This is Golden Road Brewing's Golden State Cerveza, brewed in California. If you didn't get that from the Golden State thing, who knew? And the can, obviously, very, very
What's
cool.
he drinking?
Chicken, I'm drinking a Golden Road Brewing's Golden State Cerveza. And the can is very on brand because it's got gold and blue, just like the California flag. Very nice can, actually. I don't have an ABV that I can tell, so yeah, I'm not 100% sure how strong this one is, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Fresh. It smells almost kind of like a Boulevard, but a really, really light one. Well, let's give it a go. Actually, that's reminiscent of a Boulevard. I'm not sure if this is a wheated beer or not, but yeah. Oh, there it is, 4.8 ABV. There we go. No, this is actually, it does remind me a lot of like a Boulevard on tap. Yeah, I would guess that this is a very wheat heavy beer. Okay. Not bad, though. I haven't had Boulevard in a while, so that does remind me of that a lot, and I really like that stuff. So, yeah, this is really nice. So as a beer, I'm going to give this a 3.75. Really nice. It's not sharp. It's definitely not light. You're drinking a heavy beer here. Almost 5%. Pretty damn good, though. As a cerveza, I'll give it a 3. It lacks a little bit of a finish, in my opinion, but really good front. Where would I put this in my fridge? This would probably be in the door. Kind of an oddball one. It's not one I'd have an entire case of sitting on the shelves, but I'd have this in my door. Somebody looking for something a little different than like a Busch Light on the shelf. Be like, hey, what's this? Oh, give this a shot. Do you like wheat? Do you like Boulevard? Very reminiscent of that. So yeah, this is really nice. I would definitely order this if I was somewhere and saw this on tap. So to those of you at Golden Road Brewing, very well done. Cheers.
Nice.
Very
nice.
Very nice.
I was
Very
just
evil,
observing
very
our
nice.
backup channel. It's I think currently seven people watching the backup channel. So thank you to those watching the backup
Yes.
channel. And 0 fucking comments.
Yeah.
It's just silent over there.
Hey.
So got to address that real fast. So I use 2 specific words together, and the bots came after me. So if you're going to use the word fraud, never put it after the word election, no matter what the context, and it doesn't matter what year. Just never combine those 2 words. You can say them in other sentences separately and in a different order.
Maybe.
Just
You just combine
unless
them.
you're talking about the 2016 election, you could probably get away with it then. But just never, ever.
Well, we all know that Donald Trump cheated in 2016. Like, he was the most fraudulent bastard to ever step foot on a ballot. Fuck
Tony's
him.
dipping his foot into some rough waters
No,
right now.
no, I know exactly what Tony's doing. No consequence will come of saying that.
I know.
So, yes, well done, T. Well done. Now, Chicken, if I may, good sir,
Yeah, you can have the screen.
may I have the full screen? Now, the glasses of extreme are coming on here.
Whoa.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes, because this is an article
It's-
written by
This.
the one, the only Nathan C. Dallin. Now, for those who don't know, he is an immigration attorney out of Omaha, Nebraska. As Jim Cornette would say, he's an attorney so good he could get sodomy charges dropped to just tailgating. Okay, he is one of the great legal big minds you should listen to. He and I have had disagreements in the past, but I do enjoy his perspective. And this is a article he gave me permission to read live on stream to you beautiful people. This is Nathan C. Dallin. Quick thoughts on Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade. Oof. This is a complex one. Earlier this week, a draft majority decision was leaked to Politico on the case of Mississippi versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. The decision is authored by Justice Samuel Alito. It's a majority opinion, and the leaker indicated that 5 justices have joined the majority opinion, namely Justices Kavanaugh, Barrett, Gorsuch, Alito, and Thomas. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, Breyer, and Kagan have all dissented. The Chief Justice, John Roberts, has not yet decided, according to the leaker. The draft majority opinion rests on one sentence. Quote, "We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled." Chief Justice Roberts confirmed the authenticity of the draft opinion. This is unprecedented and leads to a number of clear and unclear consequences. 1. Clear legal consequences. The federal constitution no longer conveys a right for an abortion to individuals. It is now up to the individual states to determine access to abortion. Trust between clerks, justices, and court staff at the Supreme Court must be at a 150-year low. I have no insider information, but the private deliberations surrounding decisions between justices and their teams is a critical pillar in the Supreme Court's decision-making process. That trust has been shattered. The legitimacy of the court has been called into question. Justice Sonia Sotomayor asked during oral arguments on the Mississippi noted that Mississippi decided to pass a restrictive law because, quote, we have new justices, end quote. That observation led her to ask, quote, will this institution survive the stench that this creates in the public perception that the Constitution and its readings are just political acts? I don't see how it is possible, end quote. Number 2, unclear legal consequences. Will the overturning of Roe result in a wave of new cases asking the Supreme Court to overturn other long-held decisions? Does the majority opinion open the door to possible attacks on fundamental rights that are not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution? More particularly, are gender rights, sexual rights, and issues around the right to contract now open for reinterpretation? Think gay marriage, non-discrimination accommodation laws, protected class of gender, sexual orientation. Will the majority hold? Now the leak has happened. Will the 5 justices stick to their opinion, or will the outcry over the decision cause someone to change their vote? 3, ethical and moral considerations. There are deeply held beliefs about life, dignity, autonomy, and choice in the U.S. The cultural arguments surrounding abortion have been deep and intense since before Roe. The different perspectives seem to be irreconcilable. The choice camp. A deeply held belief that the creation of life is an unequal experience. The consequences of sexual relationships don't equal divide between male and female. Women bear an unequal burden of the consequences of a sexual encounter. A male may have a brief sexual encounter and walk away without even knowing the consequences of his action. Women experience the same moment entirely differently and could carry with them the consequences of such an encounter for a lifetime. Pregnancy is no small thing for women and potentially a total non-issue for a man. The unfairness and burden of being pregnant, birthing a child with all of its risks, and raising a child fall on women. Should a woman have the right to deploy technology after a sexual encounter to control those consequences? The answer for those in the choice camp is yes. A woman in consultation with health professionals should be able to make decisions without interference from the state. The choice camp cannot find an observable moment for when life can be declared to have begun. The overwhelming majority of fertilized eggs never make it past the first 2 weeks. There isn't an observable, workable, and measurable way to declare life begins at conception. The life camp. Life begins at conception and rights attached to the baby long before it develops limbs, eyes, a brain, or a heart. The focus is on the life that is activated at the moment of conception. Abortion ends life and is therefore murder. The unfairness experienced by women is outweighed by the newly created life. Particular care needs to be taken to protect the new life that is, as this baby is in no position to speak out and advocate for itself. The possibility of ending a life merely because it isn't fair to the mother is murderous. The moderate camp. Moderates try to weigh the position of the pro-choice and pro-life camps. Moderates see the unequal distributions of unwanted pregnancies, but also worry about when life begins. Moderates disfavor abortion except in limited instances of rape, incest, and the life of the mother. Moderates don't believe that abortion is murder, but do believe that the state can limit abortion after 21 weeks. Moderates recognize that the moment when life begins isn't knowable, but clearly at 7 months pregnancy, life has happened. For those who are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I had a Twitter conversation about the theological consequences for abortions here. The link is given. 4, the political consequences. I don't know. All I know is this. Dems are mad, ours are glad. Those who voted for Trump to get justices to overturn Roe v. Wade have won. Will this matter in the 2022 midterms? I'm doubtful. I do think blue states will get bluer and red states will get redder. I love you all. Please be kind to each other on this topic. The world needs more kindness when discussing hard things. Be charitable. Nate Dallin. So there you go, folks.
Well, with that last comment, I guess I'll tone down some of the shit I wanted to call out on there. That horrible cunt. Jesus, horrible fucking wow. There's a couple of things in there. Like questioning whether like sexual identity rights or even gay marriage, like these are different cases. And I get the premises. Well, would they go and remove these because they don't like it, because they're, scary Republicans? No, that makes no sense to me. And the basis, and if you actually read it was Alito, right, that released the goddamn, or that had the statement released. Whatever.
It was Alito's statement that was released. He didn't release
If
it
you go
himself.
through it, it's like he's been looking at this for a long time, and he goes through every charitable argument that the left could have to keep Roe in place, and says why it's unjustified and why it needs to go. Everything that they have thought of, he's already listed of why that doesn't matter and how the case should never have made it as far as it did. And then, like, to say that they would just go after gay marriage because they hate the gays, like, oh, come on, that's paranoia. That's stupid. And then with the female and sexual identity rights or whatever, like, that's in the civil rights of, what was that, 1967 or whatever, when they passed the Civil Rights Act. That's in there. That's in there.
64.
Yeah,
something like that. That's in there. The gender rights is in there. It's already, like, you want to get rid of the Civil Rights Act then? Like, it's like, that was a dumb argument there.
I'll be honest, like, the one line in this that kind of like threw me off, because he's made mentions to this argument on other shows before, is the overwhelming majority of fertilized eggs never make it past the first 2 weeks. Well, we're talking about an entirely different thing there then. We're talking about, it's the difference between, well, you see, I got this blue paint and this yellow paint. Once they combine, they become green paint. But we don't have green paint yet. Okay, once you combine the two things, now you have green paint.
But
once
Phil, you know what? Before that, it was all white paint, and we had
uterine wall. You now have green paint.
But it all started with white paint anyway, so none of it matters.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that always stood out to me in that particular. But I'll let you guys go on before I get into my last objection.
And what was he talking about in the very beginning about shattered trust? The fact that it got leaked? Is that what he thinks was the shattered trust?
Okay. It was Sonia Sotomayor. Her quote is, "Will this institution survive the stench that this creates in the public perception that the Constitution and its readings are just political acts? I don't see how that's possible." It's the idea that the legitimacy of the courts now being called into question because it's
he said it was before that. There was a line that said shattered trust specifically. It was before the Sonia Sotomayor.
Okay. Trust between clerks, justices, and court staff at the Supreme Court must be at a 150-year low. I have no insider information, but the private deliberations surrounding decisions between justices and their teams is a critical pillar in the Supreme Court's decision-making process. That trust has been shattered. So yeah, the trust.
The releasing of the document.
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet it was released on purpose? Because if they're going to do this and actually overturn Roe v. Wade, if they just came out and said it and didn't like brace for impact, like, you know, what do you do before a really big decision comes down? You just kind of,
if we're not like paying attention, and then like just one morning we wake up, oh shit, they overturned Roe v. Wade. Like, dude, whoa.
Exactly. That's one of those things that if you don't warm the people up, like that would have been one of those.
And then when it happens,
I guess we're putting on the riot gear today and we're just going to take to the fucking streets. But if you bleed it out just a little bit, little by little.
Think of the clerk. Think of the clerk that's reading this, right? Or being forced to write it, and they're thinking like, this can't happen, right? So what can I do? Well, I can leak it, and that will get, my base, energized, and maybe try to stop it.
That too,
so like that's the way I'm looking at it, as far as like, because, well, I mean, look at if you read that opinion, then it's being overturned. Right?
Yeah.
You're like, it's 100%.
No matter what John Roberts.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter what Roberts says. It's going to be overturned. So there comes a point where, like, that person doesn't want it to be overturned. So that would be my opinion.
It could be either.
And then
I think you can make the argument either way, that regardless of the intention, like, well, this could prevent it from being overturned, or this could strengthen it being overturned. I think you can make the argument both ways, though, on who leaked it and why.
Yeah, I mean, but if it's already being overturned, like if it's almost 100% going to be overturned, then why would that person jeopardize?
Right.
Why would you take the chance?
I agree with that.
Yeah. So
when they find out who it is, their legal career is over.
Oh yeah, they're done.
Yeah. I mean, they might be able to get a gig on MSNBC, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, they're shoe in for like executive VP of CNN. Yeah,
He would co-host a show with Jen Psaki.
But now, like,
Yeah.
I've had some debates
back to
back and
that.
forth with Nate, really nice guy. He's one of those like Republican types who like voted for Biden in the end because Trump like didn't stand up for the moral issue, you know, like what, you know, that kind of stuff, which I get it, whatever. I don't agree with it because it's like, you know, Trump was a fairly moderate Republican president at best.
I don't get it. Like
Like,
Biden's not moral. Like,
I was to say,
just
there's
like,
plenty of reasons I didn't give my vote to Trump, but his moral standing, that wasn't one of them. What the fuck
he's
does
one of
that
the
even
biggest
mean?
liars in like he was one of the biggest liars in the government. Like he
Yeah.
lied about all his degrees.
now-
He lied about
Yeah,
going
he's been
to
lying in
colleges.
Washington
He's
for
been lying. I mean, he said some really awful things. Not to mention like
Stolen
Yeah.
speeches. and-
yeah,
crime bill.
yeah.
the crime bill. I was just getting to that. Yeah, the crime bill. I mean,
Now
that-
I only preface that.
Yeah.
I tell you this
I'm
information
just saying, like,
because
he's moral.
I'm telling you to understand just how much it had to have hurt him to type out the people who voted for Donald Trump have won. That had to just like hurt so hard, like, oh, ouch, why? But yeah, like unfortunately, like I've said it, like
testicle.
we've always heard like this is the most important election. No, it turns out 2016 was actually the most important election of our lifetime. That is the one that's going to decide how the
And
next
there was
50
no
years.
fraud involved.
Uh,
None at all.
every-
None
all the
whatsoever.
were completely
Absolutely
honorable.
zero fraud.
Unless you're Vosh talking about the 2000 election, which like I thought was like, oh,
Oh my
dang,
God,
dude,
that
like
was
you
horrible.
can't, like, yeah, that was too funny.
I can't
Uh,
believe that bastard Bush still stole that election. Like, it's just, we will
Tony,
never
stop
see
while you're ahead. Stop while
George
you're ahead.
Bush and his
Yes.
awful, terrible, horrible cronies. Just-
Only
Jeez,
allowed
should've
to
should've
believe in
stopped hanging
conspiracy.
chads.
Can only believe in conspiracy theories from 2000 and 2016. That's it.
Yep.
Yes,
agreed.
Like that.
any election where
Anything beyond
Republican
that, there's no
won it.
links. No, you're just a conspiracy theorist, extremist nut job.
Interesting.
Yep. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Republicans, we do have a little wee bit of a problem in the last let's see,
Hey,
8 curious chicken, in the last 8 presidential elections, how many have a Republican candidate won the popular vote?
Mm. No,
No, Tony,
none.
you're wrong. There was one.
Didn't
One?
Bush,
Really?
Bush did
Yeah,
once,
Bush's
didn't he?
reelection.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that's right.
So yeah, folks, don't get me wrong.
Jesus,
The Republicans
it
have
was
a problem.
vote for the devil you know, or vote for the fucking rug that mom just took out back to beat with a broom to get the dust out of it. John
Just-
Kerry was one of
the
the most
important
unlikable
thing-
fucking
He was
figures
just coming. He was
imaginable.
just coming off of 9/11, and I mean
Yeah.
like, that whole thing. Like
He-
he was just like he whoever his PR people were,
Yeah.
like they definitely like instructed
A
him.
monkey in a
Kerry-
suit would have gotten the same
Yeah,
amount of votes
yeah.
as John Kerry.
What you take away from that, folks, it's super important to vote, allegedly.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, folks.
Whether you got to mail it in, whether you got to show up early, just vote,
Yeah.
people.
All
'Cause it's
10
all
of
in
them.
the
Yeah,
oven.
vote often and early, very often.
Yeah, early if you can. W was a monkey. Well, that is accurate.
But
That's
no,
true.
no, folks,
That
we
is
we
true.
will speak no evil
Was
on
that the book he was
2020
reading?
because, as we all know, Mike Pence is a good and honorable man. Yes, so we will speak no ill. Anybody
Wait,
who's
hang
seen
on.
Charlton
Here,
Heston's Julius
I think-
Caesar performance knows what
Here,
I'm
do it. Do it.
What are we doing?
I don't know
What's
what we're
going
doing.
I have
You
no
do-
idea what's going
This
on.
is where one of you covers your mouth, one of you covers your eyes. One of you covers-
Oh,
Oh,
we will hear
he's
no
doing that
evil,
as well.
see no evil, and speak no evil.
I'm holding on to my
We will
headphones.
see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil of anything that social media tells us. We will hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. We will bow to you in every way,
Fraud.
whatever you tell us what to do in any single narrative. We will never
Smelection.
question it. We will see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Yes. I don't know if you realize that, but
I don't know what to do
that's
with that.
actually going to be the official prayer in the church of Charles Schwab. Yeah, that or whatever the fuck his name is.
Charles Schwab.
Charles
whatever-
Fraud.
Yeah, whatever his fucking name is. That'll be your prayer where it's like, yes, The new prayer will be with your hands above your
For Steve
heads.
Jobs.
Jesus.
Say clearly unloved. Let us
All right.
pay.
You guys ready
For
for
thine is the power, the kingdom, and the glory, not mine, nor should it ever be. And it would probably just be better if I never imagined that it ever could.
Mhm. So
Just a reminder, if you want to
sorry.
mute somebody for a minute, it's 100 stars. just reminding everybody.
Bring it on.
just so it's there. So we're gonna get into like the topic of topics, of course, with everything going on in the news. But I do have one like heartwarming, uplifting story that we can do first. That way, we head into the gun topic, and because there's a lot of dirty and awful things that go into that. But I want to do something fun first. You guys ready?
Please.
Ready for this?
Let's do it.
Ready for this? Woman, 21, is virtually raped by a stranger in Meta's Metaverse app while another user watched and passed around a bottle of vodka, report claims.
Whoa. There was no weed?
Hold on, I don't know yet.
Oh.
I haven't read this story either.
Go
I'm
back in
reading
time and
this.
try to explain this headline to someone in
This is
1999.
This is crazy.
I didn't know they had vodka in the metaverse.
I know, right?
I didn't know they had rape in the metaverse.
I actually knew they had rape. I didn't know they had booze, though.
A nonprofit named Some of Us sent a female researcher into Meta's Horizon Worlds app. I'm going to have to look this up. About an hour into using the platform, her avatar was sexually assaulted. One avatar virtually raped her avatar while another watched. She did not have the personal boundary feature on, a safety tool that's on by default. So they've turned it off. If it's on by default, that means this person turned it off on purpose and prevents non-friends. Oh, yeah, she wanted it. And prevents
See how her avatar was dressed?
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that.
So whoa. So you're saying the metaverse is in 1955 right now? It's the 1955 of the metaverse. Well, I mean, come on, Dave. I mean, come on, darling. Look at how short that skirt is. I mean, come on now. I mean, look.
Oh, I can't believe I this couldn't have been any more perfect. I literally did not read any of this. So prevent non-friends from coming within 4 feet of your avatar. A woman was okay. So we go through.
So wait. So you're saying they have an actual thing that you can activate that's literally a digital stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no square. Like they've literally got an app for that. Wow.
Well done. Is this video?
Oh, are they gonna show it?
No.
Oh my god. This is this is her point of view. He's got a bottle of vodka. Who's this dude in the back? Hold on. What's his name? It's Swag Daddy 69.
Is he filming it?
Yeah, it looks like he's recording it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Or was he holding the vodka bottle? Yeah, he's holding the vodka bottle. That's what it is.
So this is where our species
Wait a
is
second.
at
What is it? Is this like a Dire Straits video? What is it?
Yeah, it is. Money
the Sultan.
For nothing. Chicks for free.
The Sultans of Swing.
Swing Daddy.
We got to move these microwave ovens. Custom kitchen delivery. Got to
getting it. You're gonna need more of this, shorty.
I'm sorry, guys, but this is the softest rape I've ever watched.
I don't know what.
No, I'm not touching that one.
You're gonna need more of this, shorty.
I'm gonna check it out. It's a free show.
It's like he's like shaking a salt shaker. Like this is just
Swag Daddy
it like
69.
a Polaroid picture.
Check this out. Watch. Oh my god.
Did she try disconnecting? No, I think it's like the Matrix, Kevin. Like if you cut out early of being sexually assaulted, you die.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unplug for 30 seconds and then plug it back in.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you guys are old. Yeah.
Dalton's kind of into it.
He's like, I want vodka.
Just keep watching.
Thanks, dude.
Dalton's like, drop that link. I'm signing up right now.
I'm gonna shut the audio
it's like,
off.
how do I turn off the safe feature? Because I'm going in to get my butthole licked.
Here's the full video. How do you know she's getting raped right now?
Oh, getting down with
I was
gritty.
about to say it looks like it's like a video game, and he's like dropping hammer fists.
He's like,
he's force feeding her vodka.
It looks like she's holding it.
Oh, she drank that vodka on her own free will. Whoa, who's that bitch?
Yay, free show. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What?
Oh
in
my
the
god,
fuck?
this is amazing.
This is weird.
So when can we need to do a show live from the
No, this
metaverse,
is
I
where
feel
our
like.
species is at now, folks. This is unfortunate, but this is where we're at.
So when we finally do a live stream from the metaverse and all of our avatars are there together, like we can be in like a hot tub, things can get weird.
Thanks, woke folks. Thanks, you
Yeah.
woke scold fucks. Now we can't even have virtual fucking reality now because it's like, well, somebody was like is claiming they got fucking raped in virtual reality now. Like, I don't know what that
Are
even
you
was.
questioning the validity of her rape claims, Phil?
I'm questioning the validity of
dare
everything
you
I just saw.
Look at it doesn't even have a waist, like, look at that. Like, doesn't even have
Tony,
there's
I'm
no-
questioning.
there's no
I'm not
first
questioning
part.
the validity. I'm questioning the reality. Okay, this is a different fucking dimension.
How do you,
Okay, this is what the fuck.
if there's nothing below the waist, how do you?
Exactly.
Yeah, that video. Yeah,
I don't know how that was
rape.
raped.
Avatar.
I don't
I'm
even know
wondering
what
how
that
this is your
was.
idea of fun.
My avatar.
I'm having
was
a good
so
time.
drunk.
How about you?
Jesus.
Was that your avatar?
I'm
They
rather
forced my
enjoying
avatar to
myself
drink
right
the
now.
Grey Goose, and they took advantage of me.
You should have seen what they did with that bottle.
It's like
I
North
can't.
by.
I
They
can't
did
wait.
disappear.
It's like North by Northwest. They poured an entire bottle of bourbon into me.
I can't
Oh my
wait
God.
for her to like go on the circuit of like speaking in front of gymnasiums to be a public speaker about her experience.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Oh
kids
my
there.
God.
You know, you'll have young females that have actually, had some
Her and
sexual
Monica,
trauma.
her and
And she'll
Monica
be like,
Lewinsky.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you went through. She'll be like crying and be like, my story is so awful. I relate to you 100%. All these fucking
My
girls are
trauma
looking at
makes me
each other.
stronger.
Like, wait a second. Like, you were virtually. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Like, so
Like,
nothing
there-
actually touched you?
So nothing.
Yeah.
Like
per
you were.
se.
Suppose they're gonna like respond to that, like how Bob Saget and everybody responded to Dave Chappelle and Half Baked.
Yeah.
Like, suppose they're gonna like, man, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, some of the
Wait.
lines will even still match up, like the Bob Saget line about having to suck dick for coke. Like some of
Yeah.
those lines,
Yeah.
like you could just pluck them right from one to the other.
You're here for weed?
Somebody inappropriately bumped into me in Minecraft. It was
Yeah.
the most horrible thing in my life. My experience defines me.
We were bumping uglies.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
there's nothing there actually. So
There's
bumping
nothing but
invisibles.
lies.
Bumping invisibles.
Well, no wonder. It was easy to get the fist up there then because there's nothing below the waistline.
Heyo.
Hey,
So you're saying it's like sock puppets.
yeah. No, it's like the finger puppets you get out of a McDonald's Happy Meal. Like, oh, here's
Yeah.
Paw Patrol. Look, Chase. Woo.
What's that Samuel Jackson line where he's like, "I'm gonna shove my hand up your ass and work it out."
Yeah.
So
Or the TikTok where they take Kermit off with a hand and they lay him down and he rips a giant fart.
so
This went exactly how Chicken was envisioning it too.
yeah,
It was
we've all
I couldn't-
grown.
I couldn't have planned this any fucking
Yeah.
better. Jesus.
This will be a
Jesus.
great clip to upload to YouTube when they let us back on. Graciously and gracefully,
Whenever.
we accept your guidance and we pray to you, YouTube, that you allow us back on your good graces. We promise to behave and never put words in the wrong order again.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
there's no-
YouTube, the final arbiter of all that we are allowed to talk about.
Did you
Yes.
see that video of like a YouTube CEO or COO or somebody got on there and talked about how they're not the arbiters of truth. They aren't going to censor people for speaking freely about ideas that they're not comfortable with because that's what free speech is all about. I was like, what in the actual fuck is this guy saying right now? It's like,
He's
about
about
to
to
say,
be
what-
work
fired.
for that
He's about to
company?
be
Yeah.
fired.
I was about to say, what company
Yep.
is he working for? Because it ain't
Yeah.
YouTube.
Not
Uh,
anymore.
that fucking blew my mind. I couldn't believe that shit.
Just lost a cushy gig in the
Was
ministry.
he trying to get laid?
Right.
Yeah.
He's at some conference.
Yeah, he's hitting on some really libertarian chick. Like, yeah, I mean, YouTube's not about trying to censor people and stuff. Ain't that right, Moonbeam? Ain't that right? Like,
he's trying to get in the virtual pants of some conservative chick on Rumble.
Yeah.
I'd like to bump my invisible ugly with you
in the metaverse.
Yeah. No. We're not the authority. What's your Frank social handle?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So digital
Ministry of Truth.
Yep, we all live in it now, folks.
Oh my God.
1984, one of the most misunderstood books of all time. So, Chicken, from that happy frivolity to fucking
ready to bring down the mood.
Yeah, so before we get into that, hey, if anybody wants to make me chug a beer, it's only 500 stars, and I just happen to have one right here.
Somebody could mute me for a few minutes so I could go smoke too. That'd be cool.
We could do that, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's true too.
Somebody's like, somebody pay me $2 to go have a smoke. If we've
somebody
mute
there, everybody but Chicken, so only he can talk.
You fucking assholes.
Chicken's like, you fucking. I was about to say, if we could get there, then yes, we've actually. No, actually, you get your capitalism merit.
Well, wouldn't that also be a
dude?
Yes.
I got paid. I got paid or was it 1,000 stars one night to go have a smoke break?
You did. I think you paid yourself.
That was like one of the first nights we had stars. No, it was I'm pretty sure it was
probably Tyler Williams.
It
was Tyler.
I think it was Tyler. I go, God damn it, I want to smoke. Somebody paid me to be muted for 10 minutes.
By the way, Brendan, you should send a special wave to Tyler, considering he was mostly responsible for you coming.
Oh yeah, I've thanked him, and I'm gonna send him a T-shirt. So send me your email address and your size. Not your actual address, not your email address. Brendan at dadsww.com. Hit me up.
Chicken's not actually allowed to go to the garage anymore because every time he does, I have to do shots and beer chugs.
I don't have a garage. I'm
I was gonna say
right now.
Whatever, the lobby, whatever. Jesus. Get a nice fridge in there, by the way.
Everybody.
Yeah, I got a nice room. I got a full kitchen.
Ooh.
I'm really just stalling at this point because it's going to be depressing as fuck.
Yep. All right, let's get into it. We all know what it is, Texas school shooting. So what I have pulled up, I got a series of different stories, some new information. But before we do that, we have to establish the timeline of what happened before we can introduce some of these stories. Because now that we kind of know, a couple days have passed, and we, more and more info's coming out. People are speaking up. There's a lot of fucky shit with this. It's already a fucky situation. So anyway, let's go through Texas school shooting timeline. Police significantly alter narrative on how tragedy unfolded, and we'll get into some of the accusation and claims. We'll skip all that. So 11 a.m. roughly, series of private messages. This is where he was, sending messages to that one girl. We saw the stories on that. He said, I'm going to shoot my grandmother. The second post said, I shot my grandmother. Then 11:15, he sends another message on Facebook declaring, I'm going to shoot an elementary school.
Okay, now hang on, right there. Now I didn't realize this until a little earlier. Apparently she lives in like the UK. Did I read that correctly?
The girl he was sending these to. So that's what. Yeah,
I saw that she was like a 15-year-old from like the UK.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't even know you. Like she had no idea what the fuck was going on.
And then originally when this comes out, now we're seeing that there was actually indeed a message that said specifically, I'm going to go shoot an elementary school. And we were speculating, like, was he chased there or was this like a predetermined location? And yeah, it's been verified that it was.
Yeah. So then at 11:28, he crashed his truck into a drainage ditch near the school. He jumped out, carrying a long arm rifle and a bag later determined to be full of ammunition. He then fires at two people at a funeral home across the street from his wrecked vehicle, which I hadn't heard about that.
I didn't see what?
Yep. And continues walking toward the school. He climbs a fence, enters the public or the school parking lot, firing at the building multiple times. So at 11:28, we got shots all over in the school or at the school. 11:40. So we're 40 minutes in since he killed his grandma, pretty much, and this whole shit started. He walks to the west side, shoots multiple rounds, enters the building through an unlocked door. In quotes, we will find out as much as we can why it was unlocked, or maybe it was locked, but right now it appears it was unlocked, said the regional director for the Department of Health, Safety, whatever. 11:43. Robb Elementary School announces a lockdown. Obviously, shots have been fired. They heard that. They put it on their Facebook page. 11:44. Let's see. The police department move inside the building. Now, I don't know what the hell that means. Consolidate Independent School District Police Department.
Maybe they had a resource officer or something like that.
Yeah. The officers hear gunfire and are shot at, moving back to get cover. In quotes, the majority of the gunfire was in the beginning, Escalon said. I'd say numerous, more than 25. It was a lot of gunfire in the beginning. Sporadic shots continue as police attempted negotiations. So that was at 11:44. Now we have over a half hour of time before 12:17.
What negotiation?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, there's involved. You just annihilate that SOB.
Yeah, there's what line of communication did they even pretend to have in this instance? Because there wasn't one.
Yeah.
You remember what happened in Parkland with the security guard?
Yeah, the guy just stood there.
And he ran away.
In his car.
Yeah. Anyway, 12:17, Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District.
I don't think it was. Sorry, chicken. It wasn't a security guard. It was like a sheriff's officer. Like he was
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it was legitimate law enforcement.
Either way.
Yeah, that was.
he got in trouble. I think
for that. Majory Stoneman Douglas.
Yeah, they let him retire. I think.
Yeah. So 12:17, school district announces the shooting on social media. There's an active shooter. So, Jesus Christ, they're just now announced. Whatever. It's been over a half hour, hour and 15 minutes since all the shit started. Law enforcement is on site. Your cooperation is needed. Time by not visiting the campus. As soon as there's more information gathered, we will share it. The rest of us secure stat.
Okay. So they announced it to the public.
Yes.
Right. Like, but
at
not necessarily law enforcement.
So they're saying law enforcement was already there.
Yeah.
By the time the warning went out, parents were gathering at the school demanding action. Derek Sotelo, 26, whose family owns a tire shop nearby, said that after hearing the shots, he was outside the school with a friend whose son is a student and was frantically trying to get to get police to go in or go in himself. In quotes, he was right in the officer's face, like, man, give me your vest. You're not doing anything with it. Give me that vest and I'll go in and kill that guy. End quote. Many parents were angry about the officers not rushing inside. He said everyone was like, what is going on? What the heck's going on? Why aren't you going in? What are you waiting for? Imagine being a parent standing there.
No.
Videos posted on social media apparently filmed outside the school during the attack show law enforcement officials drew weapons on parents and pinned one parent on the ground to prevent them from entering the building.
Jesus fuck.
What the fuck did you just say?
Yep.
They were drawing their weapons on the parents trying to save their children, not going in after the shooter. Not drawing their weapon on the shooter, drawing their weapons on parents trying to save their own children. Every last one of you fucking resign. You're a disgrace to law enforcement. You're a disgrace to fucking manhood and fucking the human goddamn race. Every last one of you.
Yeah, that's what we need. We have some goddamn nut job pile of shit with a fucking gun inside the school. Yeah, let's flex the fucking long arm of the law bully fucking gun badge routine on parents
trying to save their own children
about their
murdered.
children. Meanwhile, your own officers are in there doing exactly what these fucking parents are trying to do. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, yeah, there was officers allegedly there was officers that went in to save their own children, but didn't allow parents to go in and do the same.
You can't pull that story up now. You can't fucking ruin that one.
Well, I'm sorry.
I was trying to push it off if you couldn't fucking tell. Jesus Christ.
Well, sorry, but like this is just like
I know.
Craven at this point. Like any parent within the sound of my voice should be fucking outraged by what you have just heard here. This is the opposite of protecting and serving. This is the opposite of serving your community. This is that like this is the manifestation of everything that is wrong with law enforcement
How the
in one case.
How do you get it in your head that it's a good idea to pull your fucking firearm on a parent in this situation?
They were just
I cannot wrap my head
Tony, they were just following orders. They were just following procedure, don't you know?
Back the blue, baby.
They're protecting the parent by tackling.
Yeah. Fuck that.
I hope a bunch of those stupid fucking blue flags got burned this week.
Oh no shit. Oh my
Well,
god.
it was like a pretty good name. It showed the thin blue line flag, and it says these colors don't run into a building when there's an active shooter killing kids. So like that's unfortunate. Like, hey, the memosphere is what it is.
Yep.
I can't sit here and pretend to know what it's like to be a cop, let alone a cop in this fucking situation. But I would like to think that if I were, I wouldn't be drawing my fucking weapon on terrified parents outside of the building when there's an actual active shooter. Because you need one on the fucking outside with a badge.
Well, they
Are
do
you
nothing.
fucking kidding me?
Well, they do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, but like that's something that can't be stated enough times. While they do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay?
So this is going to be their reasoning. I'm not saying they're correct, but this is going to be their reasoning, right? That the fact that if they allow the parents onto the scene, then right now they're firing. Yeah, well, not just that, they're firing on the shooter. If the parents are getting in the way, you know what I mean? Like, so that's going to be their reasoning as to why they're not allowed on scene. Are these parents armed? Probably not a good idea for them to be running into the building. I'm just throwing that out there. Like like if they have guns and everything, like I'm fine with that. Like, hey, if you're trained and you can get in there, I don't care.
If it was any other state besides Texas,
I'll tell you what. I'm around the corner from my school. If they ever called, I'd be in there in a heartbeat. So,
I would have been with you if they would have just locked down the building. But when we had reports of police officers going in and getting their own children, leaving the rest of them to the fucking four winds of fate. At that point, just surrender yourself from humanity. Go quit. Go fucking
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a huge law enforcement response. So not everyone was having their children. I'm not justifying what they've done and what they're doing. I'm just telling you what they're going to say. They're going to say,
"No, you're right."
They're going to say that we're not allowing people on scene because you're going to get in crossfire. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, you're right. That's 100% the reason that they give.
Oh yeah.
It's a high stress situation for everybody, not just the parents, but the law enforcement as well. And I understand nobody's thinking rationally, but at the same time, that line about having the parents have weapons drawn on them outside, it's
insanity.
How the fuck?
Yeah. We can dig into that a little bit more here in a second. Let me finish up the timeline. So 12:23, parents are told to pick up their children at the Civic Center. Between 12:45 and 1 p.m., U.S. Border Patrol tactical team arrives, breach the classroom and kill Ramos. The public safety spokesman could not say why it took an hour for federal special weapons team to enter the classroom and kill the gunman.
Let's see, an hour for somebody with a fucking set of balls to show up.
106, they said suspect is in police custody, which at that time was actually dead. An hour.
Yeah, because somebody with some shape, form, or figure of an erect penis actually showed up at the fucking scene.
And do we have confirmation on who that was, what the situation was, how they arrived there, the details on the actual person who shot?
Well, we don't have his name, but
he's they haven't released that.
Yeah, so they haven't released his name, but he's a Border Patrol agent. He's in the BORTAC unit, which is so Border Patrol has a few different special operations groups, right? Like they have a SWAT team, and then they have BORTAC. BORTAC's kind of like the upgraded SWAT team. They do just a little bit more. But you have to be a hard son of a bitch to get there. So no joke, it's some training. So so these guys showed up on scene and I don't know. Like I told you guys actually in the chat, like I don't know. I when I was in Border Patrol, like we were given active shooter training, and it was you hear gunshots, you run to the threat. Like you don't just sit there and wait because people are getting hurt or dying. So you don't just sit there and just wait. So Board Tacker went in the three of them, which is kind of a standard formation, and so one of them had a shield, and I think one of them got hit with shrapnel. They were taking several shots when they went in the room, and then so one got shrapnel, and the guy that actually shot the Dingleberry there took one. He took a graze on the top of his head and got shot in the leg. So luckily, all three agents walked out and were okay. Even though he was shot in the leg, he was fine. But yeah, these guys were off duty. They just heard the call. I guess they just heard the call. But you got to understand where you're at. Uvalde, Texas is right near Carrizo Springs, which is right near the Mexican border. There's probably like 3 or 4 border patrol stations within, I don't know, probably 50 minutes. Yeah, right there.
Ooh,
So
close.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing he was wearing a
Yeah,
private
is
cap.
that him in the gurney neck behind his hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so these guys, I mean, I was told that 80 Border Patrol agents showed up to that scene. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that it took that long to get in the building. But I heard that it took 40 minutes just to get a key to get in the door because the door was locked, which is unacceptable.
But there's got to be.
Hey,
So
I
thought they didn't lock it down.
If
they
had
all
no
those
warrant on you, God damn it, they
I was about to say they got all those parents. They got a handcuff and pepper spray. They can't be worried about.
Like fire departments have keys to every lock in the building. That's why there's master locks on every one of these things. Like the fire department has keys for these things, and if they don't, they should. And then, I mean, really, the ultimate question is why was the door unlocked? I go to schools all the time. I can't even get the front door.
Yeah.
So the idea is the question is really
I'll feel bad if it's some janitor that was going out for a smoke break and
right.
Yeah, it's bad. Like well, things get complacent, right? Like it doesn't happen. Oh, this school shooting is never going to happen here, and they just go about their business. They let the door open.
Complacency.
It's just complacency, really. I bet. And,
well, I mean, nobody ever plans on some psycho coming to live out their fucking Catcher in the Rye fucking delusions on the soft hides the innocent. Nobody ever plans for that, but unfortunately that's the world we're in. But like I said, thank God some fucking men showed up and actually did what was fucking right there. Now this is going to be one of those stories that like at first is thinking, oh wow, this is one of those that like I as much as I hate to say, up until the Border Patrol got there, this is one of those instances where the police were, in some instances, you could make the argument making this situation worse, like by the way they were handling it, the way they were responding it. Now, as a parent, you have we all understand this visceral response. And Chicken, there was a story that you were going to pull up.
Wow.
I'm going to read the headline here, folks. Quote: the police were doing nothing. Uvalde police handcuffed and pepper sprayed parents who urged them to storm the school, including the dad of a murdered girl. And here's one: a mom of 2 who got free, jumped a fence, and rescued her kids herself.
Good on
God bless that woman. God bless that woman. To me, I need to because I'm sure she's up for criminal charges. I would love to know if she's got a GoFundMe. Cheers to you, ma'am. Indeed. And to all you other parents who had to deal with the pepper spray and the handcuffs and not being allowed to protect your own children because they were just following orders, which wasn't a good enough excuse at the fucking Oh, I can't remember what were those at. Anyways, the Nuremberg trials. That was not a good enough excuse at the Nuremberg trials. I was just following orders, but yes, they were just following orders. So my sympathies go out to you and my hearts to all the families that had to suffer through this and the response that somehow compounded it. But yes, this woman who rescued her own 2 children, who got free, jumped the fence, God bless you. And may the angels watch over you, and may your court case be quick and resolved without issue.
Bottle kill.
Thank you, Lynn. 50 stars for a cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. And
cheers to you, ma'am.
Yeah, cheers to all the parents and people affected.
Wow.
So later in the article, frantic parents urge armed officers to charge the school, stop the gunman instead of officers, handcuffed, restrain some of the parents. Angelia Gomez said handcuffed by police when she was released, jumped the fence. I already mentioned that. We're not going to show pictures of that douchebag, but so yeah, Aaron's mom with a couple of her kids. So that's Gomez. So here's the woman. There we go. Now we have a proper cheer. Good for her.
To you.
That's amazing.
That's a good mom there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And most other mothers would have gladly done the same thing had they been there and been restrained as well. Had
they not been handcuffed, yeah, they would have done the same.
Yeah.
So here's the footage of
holy God,
some of the shit going on.
How do you fail this fucking hard?
By just following orders.
No,
so okay.
It's not like this is a unique event. Like, unfortunately, we have kind of been indoctrinated to understand this as something that can happen on the daily. Like, now that we're coming back out of lockdowns and we're coming back into normalcy as we used to know it, this was a more common occurrence than we would like to think of it. How do you fail this massively from top to bottom? Like, I understand the guy randomly did this, but Jesus, from the get-go, from arriving on scene, fuck this.
I mean, like any thinking individual has to at one point take, well, what fucking roll of the dice would you rather take? They're doing nothing.
Here's the deal. Like, we're all looking at this from 30,000 feet. We aren't there, but in any defense of what's going on in this scenario. Like, fucked up shit happens in the most stressful situations all the goddamn time. Like, we've all been there where we're like trying to break up a fight, and then there's like another fight that breaks out behind you, and you're like, what the fuck is going on now? Like, shit like that goes on, right? It's kind of a human nature thing. But at the end of the day, the officers here job is to protect and serve, right? And to save as many kids as possible in the active shooter situation. And doing that, in no way, shape, or form does anybody here, there, or anybody watching, or anybody that like association by association, everybody in this fucking planet knows you don't wait a fucking hour. We all know what needed to be done and how quickly it needed to be done. That's where I'm like, I'm not going to justify it's a lot of this, but shit happens. Like, maybe the one cop that handcuffed a dude, maybe the dude spit in his face or something. Fucking shit happens. Shit's stressful. I'm not going to go that meta on this whole fucking situation, but the shit should have been over, and that's why the parents are pissed. So they had every right to fucking spit in a cop's face or whatever happened that led to it. Just
well, my question would be, what's the timeline here? Like, are gunshots still being heard at this point? And then and then also, yeah, man, I don't know. Like,
I wouldn't want to be one. To Heather's point, I wouldn't want to be one of these cops. Maybe I bet there was a few of them that were like, dude, I just need to fucking go in there. Like, I can fucking handle this. And whatever happens. Fucking, maybe they should have. Maybe the guy that was like, fuck, I need to run in there. Maybe he should have run in there, but it didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
And now they have to live with that guilt and these consequences for the rest of their fucking life. We all know what the right thing to do was, and these people didn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. I don't know. So I was involved in a active shooter up in the North Country. And I call it North Country, sorry, Northern New Hampshire. And
that's pretty north.
Yeah, it's pretty north on the Canadian border. I got called in off a day off, and not while I was coming into work later that day, but
real quick, she drove 40 miles after hearing about the attack and then jumped the fence and saved her kid.
That's awesome.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a badass.
Fuck you, Ghost of Kiev. This is a fucking hero.
Yeah,
right
no
here.
shit.
Well, gosh, just imagine if somebody with like a gun would have topped that fence that like had a badge on them and would have done that like 40 minutes before that. Just golly gee.
Yeah, look at all
every last one of those motherfuckers. Don't ever put on a goddamn cowboy hat ever again. You ain't a fucking cowboy. Don't call yourself that. You didn't cowboy up when it fucking time came. So just take that off and never put it on again.
You feel bad, like this guy here. Like, what if he is just told, "Hey, we got it under control. I need you to make sure the crowd stays
keep
back."
people back. That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's no gunshots in there, like, I mean, like, keeping people back is just kind of keeping the crime scene, right? Like, you're just trying to, which is kind of,
these assholes don't get shot for running.
Yeah, you got to make sure there's not a second shooter. Like, there's so much that goes on as far as law enforcement goes. Like, it's not. Yeah, he's got a taser. So, what is that? Oh, is that? I think that's a Texas Ranger, or maybe a deputy marshal. So yeah, it's really hard. I don't want to completely shit on the cops. But
don't worry, I'll do that for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I might.
No. They probably deserve it. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just saying, like, if shots are being fired, then having a whole bunch of parents running into the building, not a good thing. Let's be serious. It's not a good thing. It's not. But seeing that footage, there's like 20 law enforcement officers out there. Like, okay, if shots are being fired, then why aren't they running into the building? Like, that's your job. Like, at one point it said they were unsure at what time that this was filmed. Well, that's kind of important.
Yeah, but like it does really, like you said, like why are they not running to the actual problem?
Yeah.
It really undermines the whole idea of protect and serve, because here was an instance where they needed to protect and serve, and they very much didn't. Like they just stood back and let the slaughter happen and just kind of hope that the shooter kind of would eventually just put the barrel in their own mouth and kill themselves, and then they wouldn't have to deal with it. Like that, to be honest, let's be honest, that's what at least half of those officers that stood back, that was what they were thinking. Eventually killer will just blow their own brains out and we'll just do the paperwork.
Yeah. I don't know, but all I know is that if like I show up on scene and like someone's shooting at me, like that's it. Like you don't
shoot back.
Yeah,
like, I thought that was the thing.
You move forward. You move towards that person. Like, this is not. You don't just sit there and like trade bullets with the person. You know what I mean? Like, you move on to that. Like you becoming an overpowering force. Like, this is you react and you go to the threat. Like, you don't just sit there, especially with children involved. Like,
I'm trying. I was trying to
like
find
the border patrol
size.
agents with an actual cock and balls between their legs did when they showed up. So
I was trying to find specifically like the size of this school and like how many children would have been like present. But this is only a second, from what I can find, it's only 2nd through 4th grade. So we're talking three classes worth of students. So I'm guessing for 3 classes, this was probably a pretty large scale school to only have 3 different grades worth of students.
Yeah.
So if it took, so I'm guessing this is probably a pretty large building. You would think that there would be, they've probably got a pretty good idea of where he is inside, because they did have people within the building trying to call out. I believe somebody actually who was trying to get a call out to 911 did perish during the call, but so they had to have had at least an idea where he was holed up. I understand that, there's protocol in place, and is there a second shooter, this and that, but dear God, there's got to be another means of egress. There's got to be another plan. Like, obviously, okay, so we can't get through the front door. There's a shooter inside. We can't just like go guns a-blazing. Yes, it would be bad. Nobody there, none of the officers on site could come up with any other ideas. I'm perplexed by this. And while they're coming up with no other ideas and just standing around and waiting, instead we're going to neutralize parents who are taking action. I cannot wrap my head around this. I understand tensions are high and emotions and responses to that emotion are going to run rampant, but I cannot wrap my head around neutralizing parents who obviously were more than willing to sacrifice themselves for their children. It absolutely baffles me. It absolutely baffles me. And then other officers actually going in and doing exactly that while other parents are being fucking neutralized by force at gunpoint, handcuffs, pepper spray, the fucking works. Like this is some sort of riot in the fucking street. It sounds like these cops did more to the parents trying to save their own children than most of the police in response to any of the riots that we had here in the last year and a half. Give me a fucking break.
I mean, when you put it like that,
fucking kidding me. We stood around and watched America burn for an entire summer, yet parents can't get inside of a building to save their own fucking kids.
It was like 8 months actually. It was a long time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm baffled by this.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Like, everything about this, but like there are almost no redeeming stories coming out of this awful fucking event, other than yes, there was a woman who was able to get in and save her children. And luckily,
despite the police force, she was able to do that. Not because of, despite their efforts, she was able to save her own children. Which I like. I'm sorry that. Like and like Tony, you bring it up again. Like, you know, the officers went in and saved their own like this is going to be a story that we're going to be talking about.
I can't blame them for going in and saving their own children, but the ones outside preventing other parents from doing the exact same.
Well, yeah, I can't blame the officers.
And it's Texas. God damn it, they've all got fucking guns. Come on, let's be honest. It's Texas. All these parents showed up strapped. The ones that had guns with them showed up fucking strapped, ready to run in. I saw some
big old mama with a pistol on her fucking hip, ready to go in. It's like, well, she was prepared to do a fuck of a lot more than you were. Okay, like she was prepared to do a fuck of a lot more than you were, fucking Deputy Down or whatever the fuck your name is. So, like, yeah, that's. To me, this is going to be an event that we're going to talk about for a long, long time, and how this was responded to. Because this was one of those instances where the response made it worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. And this is notorious.
It's quite clear that they were not active shooter trained, right? Like
clearly,
obviously, right? These people obviously their job was to wait for SWAT or wait for someone that.
No, Brendan. Their job is to wait for their pension.
Well, yeah.
That's what their actual job is. They're just waiting for their pension.
Maybe so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, there are some good cops. We did see them today. They were the ones with an actual erect penis that went in there and actually fucking did the fucking job that needed to be done. Okay?
I don't know if that's the terminology I would.
I will, because the other ones don't. The other ones don't even know what that is.
It wasn't erect at the time of going into the building.
But no, they are capable of having an erect penis at some point in their day. Unlike
sounds like a fraudulent claim, Phil.
Allegedly in a video game.
It has nothing to do with an election.
Yes. No, we're talking about fraudulent erections. Totally different. Okay.
Fraudulent erections.
Hey, yes. God damn it, I'm good.
They happen every year, not just.
God damn it, fraudulent erections is going to be what gets us kicked off.
I didn't even say anything about voting, you fucks.
If we get a strike for that, I'm just going to give up. Like, I don't even know what to do anymore.
We're going to
it won't be talked about for a long time. It'll be a week, and we'll move on to the next. And that's kind of the problem, though. I think that we will move on to the next.
They're not letting this go.
We'll move on to the next tragedy. Behind. But
well, no, this is what as awful and evil as this sounds. The Democrats have been begging for an event like this, so they have a leg up on any type of issue that might be a wedge issue that could get their base rallied up to actually show up to the polls in November.
Wow,
they are not going to let this.
Yeah,
go.
Beto didn't even wait. It was the day of.
Yeah.
he was hammering.
I was just saying. Let's go to that.
Right,
let's go to that next.
Oh, sorry.
Let's
Sorry.
go to that
actually
next.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Chicken, did you actually? Because you said
I asked if you were thirsty, but you.
I
nobody
gave
answered.
a thumbs up. I said yes.
Oh, well, I'll hit you up. Give me a second.
But you're
I'll
not.
take care of you.
It's pretty cold.
Let's get to
put
the
it like
Texas
that.
beta.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
You're not
beta. Oh no,
wrong.
Texas beta.
And that's the just to round up my thoughts, I guess, on this initially. I really, really hate the fact that this is going to be a very notorious story that is going to be held up in regard with the Columbines, the Virginia Techs, the Vegas shootings. Like this is one that's going to have a lasting impact. It's incredible and insane to think that we have so many that are easily forgotten in comparison, but this is one that will live in infamy for all the wrong fucking reasons. The failures of others and the random awfulness that just at the core of it. I cannot fathom it. And the failures of so many.
I think Parkland is worse because that guy that responded and just sat in his car could have stopped it. Flat out could have stopped it, and he did not. We don't have that. That wasn't that law enforcement experience here at this school. So I think Parkland's even worse. However, it's bad that they just sat out there for 30, 40 minutes just waiting for someone else to arrive. The fact that they couldn't get a key. The fact that they just not one person in your group of law enforcement there after 40 minutes can find a flashbang to throw into the classroom and could just go that's what blows me away. I don't understand that. And then I don't understand not one person there has it was within 30 or 40 minutes of arriving has in the words of Phil KOE, an erection enough to just walk in the building and just be like, I'm taking this guy out. I'm done. I can't imagine it. Honestly, I don't think I could contain myself. I'd be in there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I would be on scene. They told us when we did trading, they're like, you need to wait for 2 people. But then if you hear gunshots,
you go.
I'm sorry. This is just
you know what the gunshots mean. You're standing out there and you hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, a second person is real handy to have your back and to give you cover fire, but
ideally you want 4. Minimum you want 3. If you're gonna do a true group movement, that's what you want. You want 4. You want a diamond formation. You can get the back, you got the sides. That is what you want. But that's ideally, and that's if people are trained.
They had 20 of them.
But
you'd think they'd be locking down, they'd just be slowly moving down, making sure line of fire of different hallways were covered.
Honestly, active shooter training isn't hard. It blows my mind that this department had as many people as they have, and they were not trained at all. Apparently, right? Even these basic, they should have when I was a border patrol agent, we did training with local, state, and federal authorities, right? We toured the schools that we were responsible for. It's not difficult. You should so I don't understand. It really hurts. It hurts me to know that these people didn't know the school, or how did they not have access to the school? How did they not have access to the classrooms? The law enforcement, if anyone should have it, it's a fire
through the fucking door.
That's their job. Their job is to protect and serve. And if that's what you're claiming, then you should have access to these things. So,
if you don't, you make access.
Oh yeah, totally.
Shit's gonna change the way schools operate. When I say this is gonna have long lasting effects, Lynn's saying it's
Walmart's
not,
have active shooter training.
But I think the way that schools are structured in the United States is gonna change after this particular.
How are we this inept?
All doors are supposed to be locked.
That all fucking Columbine.
Yeah.
How are we still this inept?
Yep.
Well, let's jump into the politics of it, because we're leaning into policy when you're talking about some of that stuff. So let's get to the Beto video real quick, and then we can jump into all that other shit. So.
We got the Beto video, and then I got the couple of tweets.
Yeah, the beta video. All right, so this was a press conference. This is, not long after the shooting. I want to say within 24 hours.
Yeah, I think just that night.
Yeah, and and they're just giving an update on what they know. Like, this is not the well, whatever. We'll get into it and then we'll discuss.
At this time, I will pass the mic to Lieutenant.
Can you guys hear it? Okay.
Yep. We'll keep adding our commentary just to make sure the audio doesn't give us a ding on YouTube.
No,
you're out of line and an embarrassment.
Haze him.
Texas, thank you for not making him a senator.
Sir, no shit.
Sir, you are out of line.
He's such a piece of shit.
Who told him that was a good idea?
I can't believe you're a sick son of a bitch.
He was also the guy that said, "Damn right, we're gonna take your guns."
Yeah,
I don't think he needs people to say anything to him. He's just a moron.
Yeah,
he's just
a self-assured moron.
Rewind it. Like, that was the best part where the
mayor, that fucking mayor just cussed him down.
Son of a bitch.
Do a deal like this to make a political issue.
He waits until everybody can get a camera in his face.
It's on assholes like you. Why don't you get out of here?
Assholes like you.
And that police officer wants to cuff him so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that cop's job is to protect the governor, and that was a little too close, even though it's beta. And somebody's like, "What about the First Amendment?"
Governor, I am here to try and make myself relevant in the next Senate election. Yeah, that was craven of you, Beto O'Rourke.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Why is it freezing up? There. All right, now this is the best part. This is the part that you're not going to see on the news. Right. This is the part that nobody's talking about. Here's what happens immediately after, and this is why Governor Greg Abbott is back in my good graces. I kind of hated on the guy here for the last 6 months, but this was great.
There are family members. There are family members who are crying as we speak. There are family members whose hearts are broken. There's no words that anybody shouting can come up here and do anything to heal those broken hearts. We all, every Texan, every American has a responsibility where we need to focus not on ourselves and our agendas. We need to focus on the healing and hope that we can provide to those who have suffered unconscionable damage to their lives and loss of life. We need all Texans to, in this one moment in time, put aside personal agendas, think of somebody other than ourselves, think about the people who are hurt, and help those who have been hurt.
And there you have it.
Amen.
A fucking man.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. Yeah. That was a very good response by the governor of Texas. Like, that's I haven't said if that guy was 10 years younger, he might even be in contention for president off that. But like, his political career will end in Texas though. But which I think that's actually kind of the way he wants it. But to be honest, like, Greg Abbott had the perfect response to what to me was a very craven attempt by Beto O'Rourke to try and, hey, everybody, look at me. Are you all looking at me now? Are you all looking at me? Okay, remember me next time there's a fundraiser. All right. All right. Well, yeah. I'm out of here.
I was the one guy that did this stupid thing.
Like, I could, like, even like 48 hours afterward, I'll be like, all right, like, he waited 48 hours. Like, he didn't even wait 24 hours. He's a douchebag. I've never liked him anyway, but don't get me wrong. But like, that just, oh God.
So you remember, I think it was like 8 months ago because his poll numbers had dropped so bad. He actually backtracked on his damn right, we're going to take your guns thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
Here it is. Story from February 2022. Yeah, baby. We got you, Beto. I remember this. I was like, when I saw this story, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy has no fucking backbone. He's the biggest fucking fraud.
No.
O'Rourke on past remarks about taking guns, not interested in taking anything from anyone in February 10th, 2022. This guy.
What a load of horseshit.
This guy is, which way's the wind blowing?
Yeah, he's a perfect.
Let's check.
Yeah.
That way.
Perfect
Oh, no,
politician.
somebody got shot. Turn around. This
He
guy
is the
biggest-
epitome of a windsock.
Yeah.
Yes. He is nothing. He is an attention craving. He's an AOC. He wishes he was AOC.
Yeah,
The
she has a
problem with
better
this
impact
guy-
than him.
Yeah, she's
least she
charismatic.
believes
This
the
guy's
shit
a
she's
fucking
saying.
retard.
Now, here's the unfortunate thing. Like, what you don't realize is Beto O'Rourke is like Mitt Romney for
Brendan's
Democrat
wife will
normies.
never watch this
If
show.
you're a Democrat normie, Beto O'Rourke is like your Mitt Romney. Okay, like
Yeah.
the Dem normies fucking love him, and unfortunately, he's going to be running for every fucking office that has anything to do with Texas for the rest of his fucking life. So get used to having to
Good.
see his.
Let him
face
stay
more.
there where he has no chance of actually getting fucking elected. Because if he migrates somewhere else, he might accidentally stumble into his own dick and get elected into a position and fuck some other state up.
Lynn says, nah, he just rode his skateboard down there, threw his makeup on for the cameras. Look at me.
Yeah.
Tina.
He is a fucking windsock. He is just a dorky son of a bitch
No,
who doesn't even know. He doesn't even believe the shit that he's saying.
Oh yeah,
He's
you
got
know
a
that
fake nickname that he puts on the ballots.
this guy. Someone has something on this guy, right? Like he is being manipulated constantly. Like he just
Yeah.
like you could even see it when he was running for president there. Like
Yeah,
like,
Epstein.
Oh yeah, he's just like he's garbage. Yeah.
Like,
But it's
like-
still happening, so it's got to be the Clintons or something like that. Like,
well, yeah, the Clintons now have
What?
all the Epstein documents. So now whatever.
Well, which one of you guys was it? I hope it was one of you guys. It was a picture of Donald Trump with Epstein, and then the reply was this when he was a
Yeah,
Democrat?
Yeah, it was-
It's like-
Yeah, and it was circa, Donald Trump when he was a Democrat. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm like, absolutely, you're right. It doesn't matter. If you were a pedo once, you were always a pedo. It doesn't mean you get to change, but
Show
yeah, circa this is when he was a Democrat, FYI.
Yeah.
That doesn't change anything.
Love it.
Yep.
But
Jeffrey
speaking
Epstein.
of the
He's a
Clintons and
puppet, just
speaking
like
of
everyone else.
photo ops,
Now, I just want to say, keep in mind, folks. I just want to say one last thing: is keep in mind Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, is the first ever human in all human history to be convicted of child sex trafficking minors to no one. Because all the documents are sealed, so we'll never know. So apparently, the government just thought it'd be best if those cases just remained unsolved. Yeah, as they're so wont to do.
I call
Steven
it
says,
Disney.
to be wrong and learn from your mistakes is one thing. To backtrack during terms of national tragedies is another. And that post Chicken made proved me wrong. I get it. Now, I don't begrudge you, sir. But I've been paying attention to this fucking jackass for a long time, and I sniffed his phony bullshit from day one. And yeah, I knew his fucking little dipshit ass was gonna pop up. And the second I seen the news article that he confronted fucking Abbott, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna fucking got this cunt. I knew it all along. He's a fucking phony.
Well, you're absolutely correct. And yes, Steven, it would probably just be for the best if you just replaced your politics with big buck and empires politics. Probably just be the safest route to go.
Right.
Really.
And you
So
get a wide
brought up the
variety.
Clintons.
You get like super Republican,
Uh-oh.
like the model Republican. And then you got like, I don't know if I'm like totally ANCAP or where I'm fucking going half the goddamn time. It's just a little crazy. And then you got the normie Tony. So like you get a like a good balance.
Tony's like, fuck you guys, man. Like, well, I mean, Tony, if it wasn't for the fact that last time you took the political compass test, you literally straddled the fucking fence between left and right.
welcome.
Like, Like
I
Tony,
love the more I drank, the
Tony,
farther right I got.
I love you dearly,
yeah.
but your politics piss me off sometimes. Like they just infuriate me. I like Jesus Christ.
Quote the meme, good, that means I'm doing something right. But anyway, you brought up the Clintons and you brought up photo opportunities. Well, you know what? Good old Hill Dog wasn't above Beto O'Rourke by any means because, well, here you go. Here's Hillary Clinton's skank ass fucking Twitter. Let's see. What's Hillary's take on this?
I'm gonna love this.
Oh, and May 24th, thoughts and prayers are not enough. After years of nothing else, we are becoming a nation of anguish screams. We are simply need legislators willing to stop the scourge of gun violence in America that is murdering our children.
Yeah, they should make murder illegal. Thanks, Hillary.
They should absolutely make murder illegal.
Wasn't she a senator? Well, she was the first lady during Columbine. She was a senator through how many other school shootings? What did she do?
She did nothing.
Well, why don't you ask Seth Rich that?
Here,
allegedly.
Let's ask former president.
Two hands on the gun. That's yes, allegedly
in a
video game.
Still typing anything?
What's that?
Does anyone still believe Bill Clinton's typing anything?
No,
I can barely move.
He can play a saxophone though.
Yeah,
This is what Bill Clinton allegedly said. My heart breaks for the families who sent their children and loved ones off to school today at Robb Elementary School, whose lives will never be the same. We owe these families and the families who have experienced similar losses, including as recently as last week in Buffalo, action. Enough is enough. The American people overwhelmingly agree. Our elected leaders at the local, state, federal levels, regardless of party, must find common sense ways to keep our children and communities safe. They can do so without touching the right to hunt, sport, shoot, and keep guns for self-defense. Propaganda and paranoia have kept us from helping each other on this for far too long. We can do and be better. Time to act is now.
Put a bullet in it by now.
So yes,
put it to rest.
Those guns just touch me. Now I do gotta say,
Just touch me.
gotta give
no spot.
Ted Cruz has kind of moved the goalposts
I
a
was
little
just
bit because
curious.
what's up?
When did Clinton leave office?
2001.
Yeah,
2001. That's right. When was
Columbine was 99.
When was Columbine? 1999. Oh, so who would know better than this motherfucker about protecting children in schools? Yet we've gotten fucking nowhere.
Was there assault weapons, man?
Yeah,
he signed that into law, actually.
Oh, Bill Clinton signed that into law, did he?
Oh,
yep. And during the assault weapons ban, because it actually expired in 2004, I believe.
Yeah.
During the assault weapons ban was actually when Columbine happened.
Huh. And wasn't murder illegal in 1999?
Even a little bit before that, even.
Really? Before
yeah,
that,
just
you
a little
say?
though, just a little.
So there was no way those murders would have been grandfathered in.
Well, also it depended on what if you were a Clinton or not. Like that mattered.
Oh, there's that. Now,
so what you're saying, like this isn't just like Hillary's tweet here. The Senate must consider an exception to filibuster to curb gun violence. They did it to raise the debt ceiling and confirm Supreme Court justices. They can do it to stop another 19 families from getting an unimaginable news.
So the filibuster is going to save children's lives.
Oh God! Damn.
So there's no chance whatsoever.
You Democrats
being fucking opportunistic and using social media to further their fucking narrative in the wake of another fucking tragedy. No, it can't possibly be the Democrats trying to fucking push narrative on social media in the wake of another tragedy. The best you
one,
guys.
The best one was the Bill Clinton of Americans overwhelmingly agree. Yeah, they overwhelmingly agree that kids probably shouldn't get shot in school. Yeah,
overwhelmingly.
Duh, you fucking moron. They don't agree on anything else you want to do.
Yeah, that's
overwhelmingly don't agree.
Now I just
what
thought
pisses me off the most. Like I understand. In the wake of tragedy, there's probably no better time than bring the issue up. But
Americans
at the same time,
overwhelmingly agree they want to suck my cock.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're talking about emotions. And Chicken, your rule is correct, 100%. Let's wait a day or two and find out the details so we know what the fuck is actually going on before jumping to conclusions. And we all agree, except for those of us who are completely fucked in the head who would commit such acts like this. The rest of us agree that, yeah, something needs to be done to prevent things like this. Yet we've been dealing with this shit since 1999. We've had Democratic presidents.
I'm the only
Nothing's
one on
been
this. I'm the only one on this show, and I believe the only one in this chat that has proposed something that does not go against your Second Amendment rights and would actually prevent at least some school shootings. I have not seen a single Democrat put forward any type of legislation that would do.
They're not going to. They can't.
What I said. Mine makes the lefties happy because it would spend your tax dollars. But at least you would spend it on something that, gun owners would like. So at least, you feel a little bit better about it. And people that can't afford, let me share my proposal real quick for those that don't know. I suggest that your tax dollars, maybe instead of giving Ukraine $40 billion, okay? Instead of giving Ukraine $40 billion, let's take that $40 billion. Let's put it into a gun safety program. To where in this said program, you already get free gun locks from your local sheriff's department. If you go in there, they have free gun locks that you can, make sure your guns are nice and safe at home. How about we you don't have to fill out any extensive forms, but you can get a tax break if you buy a gun safe. And so you show your receipt at tax time and you get your money back on your taxes or something. We can make it really easy. Doesn't matter. Then it's, kind of hands off. You don't have to fill out forms and show too much information. And that way, that gun owners have a safe and very secure place to put their firearms. Because most of the time of these fucking shootings that kids are involved in is because some asshole is not properly taking care of his firearms, is not keeping them safe and locked up in a secure location. And again, this will not save every school shooting. This will not save every child from being shot. But, God damn it, if it saves more than one, it's more than any fucking other person is putting forward. Yeah. So, there you go.
Now I understand.
You don't have to take part of it. You don't have to.
Okay,
if you're already a responsible gun owner, you don't have to partake. It's
because what I was going to say is, so long as they don't have any mandates that come along with it, because
exactly,
it's one of those things that sounds so reasonable on its surface. Is, well, what about safe storage laws? Well, here's the problem.
Not a law.
Gun owners. If you allow the gun grabbers into your home, you're in for a world of fucking trouble. Suddenly, your Second Amendment is now up to the standards of the gun grabbers. Yep. And so that's why I'm always very nervous.
You're exactly correct, that's about any kind of mandate would do. The left would take what I said, which is a reasonable thing that most everybody would be like, well, fuck yeah, why aren't we already doing something like that? And the left would be like, well, let's mandate it and make it into a law, and then they have to fill out these 5 different fucking forms so we know what guns they have. That's what it would turn into. And so it's never going to be a reasonable. And so every time everybody has these, every time this shit happens, unfortunately, there's the gun debates and what should be done. And no. It's never going to change. It's never going to get better because the agendas, as Abbott fucking said clearly, your personal fucking political agendas they're always going to get in the way. The psychotic fucking people just want to rule over everybody and tell everybody what they can and cannot do. And until they get that, they're not going to fucking stop. So it's we're never going to progress on this. So as much as I give shit to Republicans sometimes for their little pussy way of fighting back, because they never actually push for anything, they just kind of go, no, stop it, I don't want to do this today. But at least there's that, and they're the only ones fucking doing anything, to be honest. So I'll praise them for that. And then when it comes to the gun issue, some of them fight fucking hard, and they should, because the emotional response that Tony's talking about, no, it doesn't make any sense, and it's not going to save any lives.
No,
literally will not save any lives. People will still get guns. There are more guns in this fucking country than blades of grass, right? That's the fucking saying. It's not going to stop it. Phil, what'd you say? It would take 200 years to fucking sniff out every gun if they did.
We have over by our most conservative estimate, about 340 million guns in the United States, which is actually more. There's about 1.2 firearms for every man, woman, and child in the United States. So if you made the most draconian measures imaginable, immediate execution if you are caught possessing a firearm, it will still take 150 years to wipe out firearms from American life because they're just so they're just everywhere and people aren't going to give them up. And I wanted to also address one thing Steven said. If you can't secure your own firearms, why do you deserve to own them? It's also an issue of if you're going to do a safe storage laws like you have in Canada, they're to the point where you actually cannot access your firearm to utilize in self-defense. So if you can't even utilize your firearm or access them, then it's also what is the whole goddamn point? Because yes, in Canada, if you actually utilize your firearm in self-defense, you've basically violated like 20 laws and you're going to prison. So that is what we do not want, because the right to keep and bear arms.
Say that
Dalton makes a good point about 3D printed guns.
Yep.
Good luck stopping that.
Yeah.
I mean, that cat's out of the barn.
Oh yeah.
That toothpaste is out of the tube, and there ain't no way to put that genie back in the bottle.
But let's be serious. There's no policy. There's no law. There's nothing that you can do that is gonna legislate away or policy away idiocy and mental illness. Like, you cannot do that, right? Like, and even just simple mistakes, right? Like, it's not going to happen. There's a woman that was doing a Zoom meeting, and her kid shot her in the head with a Glock because her boyfriend had left it in the nightstand. That was an accident, right? But like, and obviously idiocy, right? But you're just simply not going to legislate that away. You're never going to get rid of that. And then it comes into questions like other murders, right? Like blunt force trauma and knives. I mean, I believe there's just as many blunt force.
There's one reason I won't go to the UK, because if somebody decides they want to kill me,
I'd
rather it be in America where they'll just shoot me, not in the UK where they'll fucking stab me. That sounds
stab
terrible.
you. Or
you ever watch that scene in Saving Private Ryan where he's like slowly digging that knife in? Like every time I think I get stabbed, I think of that moment. It's like, oh God, that's a horrible way to go.
Stop it.
It's a lot more realistic than a lot of knife fights in movies where there's all these like whenever you see a guy block more than 3 shots and not have some like blood spurting cut, you're like, okay, this is bullshit.
Jason Bourne's not real.
I'm gonna say it's very, very much not real.
Yeah. No, it's
now,
not.
actually, I wanted to address this comment. Stephen Alexander saying we're not talking about that here. We're talking about an outside party coming in and absconding with your unsecured weapon and committing a crime, not an issue not being able to use your weapon as a result of it being secure. Well, I'm glad that we agree that like there is a my English is shit tonight. Deport me. Fair enough. But no, like I'm glad that you agree that there is a level of safe storage that would be unreasonable.
Yeah, watch out. We have a border patrol agent on the show.
God damn. Oh, whoa. Now, what's interesting though is this is an argument that I hear a lot from folks on the left when it comes to, well, what if somebody steals your gun? You should be liable. Boy, you want to talk about victim blaming. Somebody is the victim of a crime, and now you want to make them responsible for the fact that a crime has been committed against them? That's a very odd system of law, and it's like I would implore you to reconsider that, because now you're making a victim of a crime liable, and now people aren't going to come forward, and now that's actually going to be a way that more illicit guns are going to make it onto the streets.
Pour it all, Tony.
I got a side note real quick, because tonight I'm only using one screen. So like I have you guys in this itty bitty little window off to the side, so I can like look up stories and have some research on the side. Usually I have multiple screens, but every time I look at this little screen where all of us are, we're in a different fucking order. What is going on?
That's me.
Yeah.
I know that. Are you the one? Are you moving everybody around?
Yeah, that's me. I'm doing that.
Okay. I am fucking so confused, because like I was on the bottom right a couple minutes ago, and then I was on the bottom left, and I don't fucking.
No, that was me, because like when people were talking,
bottom.
Well, yeah, I do. But no, when people were actually like
like
saying
sticking on
things,
my
and I'm like,
bottom.
I'm just up here not saying shit, and I was popping up comments. I'm like, well, I guess since I'm not talking, I can be covered up. So I was just moving people around as real quick. I'm gonna do this since thank you.
Wrapping up the show here soon.
Well, we'll wrap up, but
hit those like buttons, get some comments in before we start wrapping up. Go ahead, Tony.
Hells yeah.
I'm gonna slam this, but then I do have one thing we need to talk about before we wrap up. But let me
do you.
Cheers, folks.
Woo. Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy.
Oi, oi, oi. Wow. Well done.
Very nice.
Can't fucking around tonight.
Woo. So I think we all brought up a lot of important aspects of this. I think we touched on a lot of absolutely important things, and really, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what one former president thought was the most important aspect of this tragedy this week. And that would be our
anything to do with some kind of fraud that may
no, not at all. No, look, our former president Barack Obama, he really nailed it with this tweet the other day when he brought up as we grieve the children of Uvalde today, we should take time to recognize that 2 years have passed since the murder of George Floyd under the knee of a police officer. His killing stays with us all to this day, especially those who loved him. Seth Dillon says, it sucks those kids died, but remember George Floyd? He's who I'm still thinking about. Barack Obama.
It was such a great
response.
That's unfortunately, yeah. It's
I don't even know who Seth Dillon is. That's fucking awesome.
I don't know, but I'm gonna go follow him immediately because what the fuck?
To me, that tells me
what the fuck is this?
That tells me one of two things. Either some sort of woke scold took over Barack Obama's Twitter.
Wait a second. It says Dad's WW liked a reply. What's going on there?
Or Barack Obama is in control of his own Twitter, and he really relied on his speechwriters for 8 years. That tells me one of those two.
Yeah.
Very likely.
I just
Lynn says
that is not Lynn.
No, up above. Started earlier. So the AR-15 I usually had displayed behind me on the show, I tragically lost in a boating accident. Ned was watching. Steven says Sandy Hook occurred on my watch, and I did nothing other than thoughts and prayers bullshit. Barack Obama.
Ouch.
This is what I'm saying. Like, Columbine happened under Clinton, and we had 2 full terms of Barack Obama, and we're going to pretend like it only fucking matters.
Well, yeah. Because it's But
and this happened under Biden's watch.
Yeah. Now, this thoughts and prayers thing.
When the fucking Democrats are in control, fuck these people.
This bothers me more than anything right now. So
yeah,
we're like we brought up like the Roe v. Wade thing and like whatever your thoughts on abortion. That's another one of those wedge issues that I don't think anybody's ever going to change their mind. But it's one of the ones that's like very personal to a lot of people and gets people emotionally involved. So does the gun thing, especially with kids, and rightfully so. It should get people emotionally involved. But like, when they pick away at some of these things and all of a sudden, like when a woman loses her right to have an abortion, they're like, thoughts and prayers with all the women out there that can't kill their babies, but then like kids get killed in the school shooting because they don't like guns. They're like, oh my God, look at all these Republicans. They had thoughts and prayers. Fucking assholes. They're not going to do anything. And I'm like,
that's the other side of the coin.
Have some empathy. Like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
This is part of the grieving process. Are you that much of a fucking retard lefty that you can't understand the grieving process has to start with empathy? And you have to.
These are people that live their life politically, right? Like they don't.
Yeah.
They can't even.
They're
like
not real people.
Human level. Like
I was about to say, the left hasn't been given a lot of empathy for the last 5 years.
Well,
so you haven't been seeing that from the left.
Your life as a like your neighbor's not a racist, even though they may have a Trump flag in their yard. They're not a racist. Like, I mean, you can talk to them. You can, like, the idea that everything is political. Like, get off of it.
This takes me back to the okay, Righteous Mind by fucking what's his name again? Jonathan Haidt. It's a fascinating fucking read.
Is that the
tells you a lot
CRT
about
CRT guy?
No, he's not CRT. He's I'm trying to let's see here. What's it say? Other than an author. Anyway, he talks about how there's certain things that each of us have in us. And if you're on the left or you're on the right, they're like you're gonna have harm. That's things that you pay attention to. What causes harm? Things that lead to fairness.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The authority figures, in group and purity.
Yep.
Like so he went through, and I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to pull it up right now and look at it. But like people that lean more right have all of them at some point. Like they have a level of all of these things, but the left only have like fairness and I want to say authority are the only two things they really care about. But they don't pay attention to harm. They don't care about purity. Like there's other categories. There's like 6 of them, I think.
But you can't generalize that because there are people on the right, or I should say,
right. It's saying like
like simply not empathetic, and they're just assholes. It doesn't matter if you're on the left, then you're wrong and you're awful and you're a piece of garbage. Like
Brendan, as someone on the far right, I take your umbrage to your characterization of the right being anything other than a box of fluffy doves, good sir. I have no idea what you're saying.
I totally butchered the premise of that book, but it's a fascinating read because when you go into it and you like some of the shit you're saying, just because somebody has a Trump flag or don't tread on me flag or even an American flag, like one of my neighbor was afraid.
I was just gonna say that.
My neighbor was literally afraid to talk to me because I have an American flag on my front yard, and she's like, she marches for BLM and gay pride and whatnot, and I'm like, oh, good for you, like I'm like, high five, girl, I don't care,
whatever.
Like,
you do you.
What bothers me the most is the constantly seeing the tweets or the Facebook posts from the uber lefties that say, well, Republicans only care about you until you're born. Like, yeah, they'll do everything they can in their power to make sure you're not aborted, but as soon as you're born, they don't give a fuck about you or your rights or your well-being.
Such a bad argument.
The flip side to that seems to be that the Democrats don't give a fuck about you until you're born. They don't give a fuck if you are born. But as soon as you are, oh, now we're sympathetic. So it's a very weird yin and yang.
There you go. Get that book, folks. Nice. It'll change your view on people.
Now, I do want to say, I actually said on a few panels, it's like, so the argument is if a baby is going to have a less than adequate access to resource while after they're born, then should be some sort of justification for abortion. I asked on the panel, show of hands, how many of you could say that you had a less than adequate access to resource at some point when you were growing up? Can anybody say that? Anybody within the sound of my voice? Yeah. That's not really a good reason. And let me ask you, what roll of the dice would you rather take? And it was the first time I ever had a mic drop moment in an abortion debate. That was actually that was fun.
It's beyond valid because nobody wants to think about that. It's just it's the reactionary stance that they can take because it sounds good and it's a very easy stance to take. So I understand why they take it, and you're 100% right. Yeah, because if you don't have the necessary means to have a more than fulfilled life and have a fortune and fame and all the access in the world to having a better than average life, you should be aborted. That's fucking ridiculous. But at the same time, we're talking about one of these tragedies this week that will be ingrained upon the worst of the worst. And it's not going to go away. And we're going to find out more details as this thing unfolds. And it's all going to be fucking horrible. And as we find out more, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And we're going to get to know the victims. And that's going to make it worse because there's nothing that's going to be good about this at all. But at the same time, we're in the heels of this Roe v. Wade thing being overturned. At the same time, I'm like, I'm not advocating for abortion by any means. But at the same time, I'm like,
it could be the answer.
If I were in the camp of, do I want more kids right now? Would I even want to bring more kids into this fucking world?
Oh, no, I was just saying all the people that want abortions will stop raising kids. So,
yeah. Yeah.
There is that.
It's like self-euthanasia. It's kind of weird, but
I mean, you'd think that, I mean, lefties that wanted their progressive future would be like, no, we need to be fruitful and multiply, because the right-wingier religious folk, they sure as shit are fucking peopling the world. Okay? Like, so.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we were all about killing babies. This week, it's save as many as we can. Weird.
Yeah. Now, what I do got to give Ted Cruz some credit, because he found a hack to the whole thoughts and prayers thing, because everybody would give like, and I'm sending thoughts and prayers, and then everybody would like roast him on, because that's the thing when you say thoughts. So he says, to all the families, we now lift you all up in prayer. And so that's his new, rather than thoughts and prayers, we lift you up in prayers. I was like, well done, Ted. You found a way around it.
I made a Facebook post of like, hey, let's all wait 24 hours.
You're right.
And just let people grieve.
Silly goose.
Like we're gonna fight about this. We're gonna fight about this.
Yeah.
Like just give it 24 hours. You know, the one person that like made the comment of like, because I think it was one of our buddies would like obviously honestly didn't know what was going on, just said what happened. Yeah. And so my wife just wrote Texas, like to say, hey, look up Texas. Like she was just telling him, look up this news in Texas. Right. And then one of Tom's buddies that's friends with me now, I've never even talked to this dude, but like he likes to comment on my shit, and he gets super mad. Tony, you're gonna know who I'm talking about when you see it. But he put guns. I'm like, seriously, that's the news? It wasn't the kids.
No,
it was guns. And so like, it's so creepy to me, and that's all I've seen on the news today. And I guess that's where I'll round my thoughts on this as we wrap up. The left doesn't view this issue as a human issue, just like they don't on other issues such as abortion or other things. Like we can argue that at a different time. But when they look at this, they don't see the kids, they don't see the parents, they don't see the life. They see the gun. The gun is the target, and that's the only target. Nothing else matters until they can hit that target and eliminate that target. Nothing else matters. It is very obvious when you see somebody that is a deviant, a psychopath, or it doesn't even have to be anything bad. Somebody who's just looking for something. We all have that friend that has a secret agenda. Like, if I took Phil, like, hey, Phil, you want to ride to Lincoln with me? And he secretly wants to go to the liquor store. And we like drive by one and he'd be like, oh, hey, chicken, look, there's the still.
That's like, a pretty shit secret plan, but yes.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
my plan is working perfectly.
People reveal their true intentions on their own all the time. You just have to pay attention to what they're saying, and you know exactly what they want. Kids do it. Adults do it. Yeah. Everybody does it. If there's something somebody really wants, they tell you. Whether you want them to or not, they're gonna tell you. And the left can't stop telling you they want guns gone. They don't care about stopping school shootings. They don't want to stop school shootings if guns are around. And if guns are going to be around, they're going to allow school shootings because it's the only way they can keep that argument alive. It's sad, it's true. I will fight to the death on this issue because they are not going to take the W until guns are gone. Yeah. And if that means that they do not progress any actual legislation that will save kids' lives, so they can still have this political fucking football to kick back and forth and to look like this righteous, Beto bullshit that he pulled, they're gonna keep fucking stalling any real progress on a real, tangible fucking law that we could actually stop some of this shit. They're ruining this. And it's because they don't look at people. They see the object, they see the target, and nothing else. And they don't have the capacity to actually care for you because they're selfish. All right. That's the end of my rant for the night. I give it
so that's the political person I'm talking about, right? Like the person that just can't see empathy, that just everything is politics in their life. They let it run their life. They let it ruin their life. They let it ruin holidays because they just can't stop. And that's the same thing. And I would only push back in the fact that it's not just the left, it is the right. There's, because I was that person a little bit in my life where I would just be like, no, you're wrong, but I've since kind of evolved in that, but still, it's that political person that just can't let sleeping dogs lie, be empathetic for just a little bit, and just have some nuance and principle to your argument. And it just absolutely not like that political person.
Thanks for using the proper pronouns.
Yes.
She, him, her, they.
There's
Frankenstein. So that would be like my only pushback is like it is not just the left, it is the right as well. And I know that, I know, but
you're half right.
Yeah, half right. Yeah. Well, I was talking to Chicken.
Yeah, he's all right.
But that would be my only pushback is like it just it's that political person that just cannot separate anything in their lives.
It's a maturity level.
Yeah,
if I put it that way, the left is less mature. They cannot accept other thoughts and ideas and put themselves in the mindset of somebody else's life. They only think in my perspective is perfect.
Me, mine, I.
They're always doing the this is my lived experience, but they don't care about your lived experience unless you fit a certain minority or whatever the hell they.
I think it's a bit more insidious than that. If I may, because I've told this story.
You're right. Yeah, go.
Well, I think it's a bit more insidious than that in this regard, and I've told this story before on a few different occasions. And full credit to Christopher Hitchens on this, but when you're asked like who is they, what is the enemy that you're facing in this regard, what is the evil that you have to overcome, and it's a very interesting piece of emotional spectrum. And what I go back to is when Dr. Robert Johnson compiled the first English lexicon and dictionary, he was greeted by a delegation of the ladies of London, and they said, Dr. Robert Johnson, we are so pleased to see that you didn't fit any obscene or unfit words into your dictionary. And Dr. Robert Johnson went, ladies, I congratulate you on being able to look them up. Now, okay, a couple of folks get that joke. Now, what you need to understand from that joke, and it's a true story, is you have to be suspect of the motives of those who are determined to be offended. And on the left now, you have far more people who are determined to be offended, because like Aldous Huxley said, to be able to rain righteous indignation down on other people is one of the greatest moral delicacies that our species just cannot resist. It's like a fine little sweet treat that you just have to put in your mouth. And so the idea that you get to be the one that rains the moral outrage down upon other people, that is the moral delicacy that they seek. And so they are determined to be offended. They will seek out new things to be offended. And that's why the left so often looks like a snake eating its own tail. And that's just my little addition to why I think it's a bit more insidious than just that lack of empathy. I think they understand perfectly well what they're doing, but it serves a deeper need for them. Well, I mean, Stephen, if you had the guts, if you had the moxie, if you had the fucking balls,
it would be 1,000 usually, but it is like
it would still be 1,000. It would still be 1,000. I'm a capitalist. There's no discount here.
Real quick, I'll match. If somebody throws in 500, I'll match the other 500. Let's do this.
Well, in that case, let's stall. I've got one more thing.
God damn it!
Oh, I could tell a story.
Tony, you didn't wrap up your thoughts on like Tony? Your overall thoughts. Wrap it up, bud.
Okay, so Jesus, we're coming off the heels of a lot there.
Did you move the screen around again? God,
yes, I did, dude. Like I said, if somebody's talking, I don't want to get them buried if I pop up a comment. Like I'm talking right now, and I pop up a big comment.
It's moving them.
Dude, just fucking go with me,
well,
all right?
Thanks for that opinion, Tony. That was really great. Really
all right, so Tony just wrapped up his thoughts for the night. Fucking stop moving, people! God, driving me nuts.
If somebody,
I just learned how to move people.
Buried by the comment. My God, am I that big of an asshole?
This is not good for the audience.
I'm sorry you're getting motion sickness. You'll be fine. Anywho. So, coming off the heels of a lot there, no, I'm just disgusted by so many things.
By fraud?
And it really, shut the fuck up. All right.
Fraudulent
I didn't say
erections.
election. I just...
Erections that are fraudulent.
Erections, yes, fraudulent erections. I hate fraudulent erections. That's really been the gist of this entire show.
It's all about erections, Susan.
I hate fake boners. Fake boners piss me off so fucking much. Anyway,
Lynn.
No. There it is. There's 500 stars from Lynn.
Boom.
Well, I still need to see Chicken's 500 stars. Goddamn.
Okay, I'll wrap my thoughts up on this thing quickly. Then, I still don't like, and I said at the top, I hate how quickly emotions are turned into narrative pushing, and there is no better time than in the face of adversity, in the wake of tragedy, to push a narrative, to have it be the most effective thing. But really, what you're doing is marketing. You're not actually doing anything effective. You're just marketing. And it's effective because the people that are going to be outraged the most are going to buy your product the most. And I hate the fact that out of tragedy is born opportunity. And it shouldn't be opportunity, because it should be solution. But instead, we're met with opportunity. And that opportunity isn't change. It's just giving the person wielding that marketing more power. And that's all they really want. That's all the Beto O'Rourke's of the world want, is more power, because that's what they can get out of the wake of tragedy. It's not actual change, like Chicken was alluding to. It's getting more power. And that's the most disgusting thing. Meanwhile, people actually affected by this tragedy are being handcuffed, pepper sprayed, and detained from rescuing their children. It's fucking disgusting, because we still are a nation of common men and women with a common set of interests, and we are all trying to work for a better tomorrow. Meanwhile, the politicians of the world are tweeting out during the wake of a tragedy. Former presidents are saying, gosh, it sucks that George Floyd died 2 years ago. Yeah, it does suck that George Floyd died 2 years ago. You know what sucks more right now? A bunch of kids and teachers dying. Shut the fuck up, Obama, you fucking pile of shit.
How is he such
allegedly in a video game?
Allegedly. Now,
you know, folks, even normies come around.
Yeah, it's going on.
All that. Biden's America, ain't it something?
Oh yeah, he loved it.
I hate Jen.
He's gonna love Jen.
Hey, what is okay? Here I'm doing. I'm going off. I'm having this fucking this.
It was great, Cody. It was great.
It was good. I love
being just opportunistic as Beto O'Rourke. Fuck you, Chicken.
Wow.
You pile of shit. Wow.
I was just praising
I'm talking
you.
about opportunistic pieces of shit, and here you are being an opportunistic piece of shit. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir.
I mean, I feel like that just Chicken, tickling the balls, before he. I mean, like he's praising. Yeah, he's praising.
Well, yes, I mean, Tony. Yeah. I mean, it's sounding like, the Overton window is shifting even again in this country. Yeah. So welcome to the right wing. Your politics hasn't moved, but now you're considered right wing. So welcome. I'll get you your right wing.
I don't know if we be more centered, and I'm still considered as
I don't know if we
can
keep calling Tony a normie if he keeps acting this way.
Really. Yeah,
I was about to say, he's starting to sound pretty based, actually.
Yeah, I know.
I know. He's starting to sound like a Chad.
When he starts singing Cop Killer, then we're done.
I'm gonna fucking mute.
Tickle my balls. We're all LGBTQ.
LGBTQI before A, except after.
Always cup the balls first.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
See, my brother taught me a couple of things in life.
Jesus.
Yeah. Easy.
That's fraud.
That's erection.
That's
fraud.
erectional fraud.
Jesus Christ.
Getting crazy.
Well, this is on a good note.
Yeah, maybe we should go to the post show. I was gonna say we've got Biden's executive orders,
where it said that this is not gay.
That was monkeypox. That was 2.5 hours ago.
Gentlemen, shall I?
Yes, Phil.
Yeah, you probably.
As I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for
joining us this week for episode 140, Monkeypox, folks. Hey, we're the monkey, and we like to pox around. We're too busy poxing to put anybody down. So, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us here at Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube, Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook, the Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube. Folks, Big Buckin' Empire needs your help. They need you to go over to their YouTube page, hit subscribe, show the big tech bastards that they're not going to silence us, and we're still going to get the message out. So, folks, be sure to like, share, subscribe right here to Big Buckin' Empire. Head on over to KOE Nation on YouTube, KOE Nation on TikTok, KOE Nation on Twitch, folks. K is in King, O is in oh my God, what are you doing not subscribing to KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch? E as in extremely happy that you have come over and subscribed to KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. But folks, here in Big Bucket Empire, we have gotten into the issues of the day, and we've somehow found, Tom is still out like a light, he is. But folks, we've gotten into the issues of the day, and we've done it with you and somehow tried to keep some fun and frivolity through it all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Raise a glass to yourselves. I hope every last one of you makes it back to the Big Buckin' Empire. Happy, healthy, much the wiser. Brendan, Tony, Chicken, take it away.
Go ahead, Brendan. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Oh, dadsworldwide.com or Brendan, send me an email, brendan@dadsww.com. Check out my next podcast where I actually talk about how I was involved in an active shooter. So I was going to throw it on here, but
now I'm excited.
We got busy. So, yeah. And, you can't stand me or these guys. I want to hear about these guys too. So hate mail at dadsww.com. Thanks for having me once again.
Thanks again, Brendan. Always welcome back, sir. Tony, you wanna wrap up, or you want me to wrap up?
No, I'll just I'll just say this. Regardless of what quadrant you fall on the political spectrum, this is just the least ideal time to take to social media and only think about your morals, your ideas, your concepts, and your beliefs. And you got to remember that there actually are other people out there actually affected by these things a lot closer to home. Typically, if you're just using this as an opportunity to push your thoughts and be provocative, like, take a second and think about it, because eventually you'll be close enough to the situation that it will be offensive to somebody. Like, just remember that there really are people out there that are largely affected by this. And I just, it is terrifying to have children this day and age. And I've got 4 of them right now, and I'm like, God damn it. Like, this sucks, because I've got one entering first grade. You can't help but make parallels and think about this shit, and it's fucking terrifying. So our hearts go out to everybody affected. Our hearts go out to everybody who will be affected. Our hearts go out to everybody who has been affected in the past, because unfortunately, this is something that we have to deal with as a society. Whether your thoughts about America and the gun laws and all that and the rest of the world, whatever, doesn't matter. You put that aside and just remember that at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and stop playing partisan politics when it comes to people losing loved ones, losing family. It sucks no matter what, no matter whether you wear a red tie or a blue tie.
No, beautiful, Tony. I'm going to wrap up with something I posted on Facebook the other day, and I don't know. It's stuck with me since I posted it. It's something that it's called the noble cause corruption. The greatest evils, now listen carefully, listen closely. The greatest evils come not from people seeking to do bad, but from people seeking to do good and believing the ends justify the means. And ironically, few things legitimize the immoral treatment of others more than the belief that you are more moral than them. And with that, I say good night. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think it was one of the fucking comments in that post, which was basically what I was saying there. As always, folks, appreciate you. We'll see you next week. And we'll be back on our normal YouTube channel hopefully by then if we don't get another.
This is the post show link specifically, but you can also get there by going to Linktree/BigBuckin.
As always, folks. Oh fuck! I need to find the goddamn outro video. I always do this.
Oh my god!
Like I prep myself for a really cool outro like thing, and then I totally fuck it up. All right, good night, folks. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye.
Cheers.
See you next week. Did you push it?
I could just start singing it. If I ever
get back,
tell you
what I do.
Hey, chicken, we're still live. We're still live, by the way. So, yes. So, folks, we're actually
he muted himself and me. I don't know.
Yeah, he muted me too. I don't know why he did that, but let me see.
We're still going. Here, I'll find it.